All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into the grand finals. It's Maestros of the game. I am Pig, I'm remote casting off of a lovely stream, and we are watching the grand finals live from Guru, a bar in Paris that has been rented out and taken over, swarmed by hundreds of passionate StarCraft nerds, filling the air with football chants for these two players. On the bottom right side, representing Team Liquid, it is CLEM. Stayed up late last night, but he's had a nap before his previous series, and he's looking good. And his opponent in the top left side of the map, the Zerg player for Basilisk. An absolute monster, but boy is he had to work hard to get here. A grueling series against Hero. Another one that was a bit more convincing against Raynor, but now he has his true rival in front of him. The current world champion, three-time world champion, SERRAL, and the greatest player of all time. But CLEM is not the monkey that's gotten off his shoulder. A lot of people say, you know what? Guess what? SERRAL's won another world champion. He's better. CLEM didn't. CLEM's not as solid, not as good. That might be the case. Don't get me wrong. CLEM did get trounced by Classic at the World Championship. That is not incorrect. But SERRAL did not beat him. And that is something you need to remember. While SERRAL has beaten CLEM this year a few times, CLEM still has the dominant win record if you count 2024 and 2025. CLEM is a difficult creature to play. And we already saw in his series against Raynor, you can have the genius ideas and strategies and tactics. But when you play against CLEM, it is a constant skill test. And if you do not meet the standard that he puts upon you, if you make the smallest of mistakes, he will gun you down like a savage dog in the street. He will put you down so quickly. The moment you make a mistake and he gets momentum, CLEM will smash you. It is brutally unforgiving, this matchup, Zerg versus Terran, when you're facing a guy like CLEM. So my eyes are glued to the screen to see what SERRAL pulls out. What magic had he got? Because remember, we're starting on Gressven, CLEM's map pick, and that is going to be a tough map for SERRAL to defend the 8 racks on. Remember, SERRAL already lost in the upper bracket. It was to Raynor who beat him there. He has not played CLEM in this event. Oh, a drone already. Both Basilisk players losing drones in the early game. You can't be giving CLEM this sort of momentum. Bad start for SERRAL. As I said, though, SERRAL is going to have to activate he's going to have to win this best of 7. If he wins it, it activates a final best of 3 to win the entire tournament. Whereas if CLEM wins this best of 7, it's all over. He hasn't lost a series. He's dominated pretty much everyone he's come up against. CLEM has looked unstoppable. We'll see how it goes. Lings on the high ground do block the Reaper. Nicely done that by SERRAL. But he's not going to be happy about losing that drone. When it comes to facing a guy like CLEM, when SERRAL beats him, it's picture perfect. His early game is just so precise. When he loses to CLEM, and he loses badly like he did in the 2024 World Championship, he fell behind a little bit early, and then things snowballed so very hard. That's what he's got to look out for. All right, Reaper's rotating. First Hellion does arrive on the front. Second one as well. Liberator coming in. CLEM wants to just play really active. I do think Liberator, SERRAL is so good at handling. I know the Liberator got a couple of kills against Raynor, but I don't think that was really too instrumental in the game on Tokamak. I think here against SERRAL, you got to find a way in as CLEM, or you've just got to do a good job rotating between the paths and denying that creep spread. Now, because SERRAL takes the front base, his 4th and 5th, I think, are actually safer than the 3rd. From a frontal push anyway. It's the front 3rd base in the middle that actually gets in trouble from the 8 racks of Terran. And that's where we're going to have our eyes set for later on. 2nd and 3rd barracks on the way. Reactors are building. It's just 2 gas for now for CLEM. 3rd gas goes down, and then it should be double engineering bay before he takes a 4th gas. He didn't go Banshees. He actually still goes for the 4th gas, despite just playing Liberator. Interesting. Might just be habit there. I think that maybe can be slightly optimized, but I am nitpicking. Queen's moving north. Oh, he tanks the Lib shots. Well done. Which means no drones go down. Lib's already heavily wounded. And the Queens are still in range, or at least one of them is, which I think is enough to take care of the Lib. It takes out 2 drones. and it does go down. There is a bug, unfortunately, on the observing computer, guys. They haven't been able to sort it out. Sometimes the unit death animation doesn't happen. In that case, the Liberator just disappeared. It does mean the unit dies. It is not just getting sucked into the void or anything like that. I do apologize for that break in the visual things. I reported it to them, but they said, look, sorry, it's just we have no idea what's happened with it. We can't figure it out. We're just going to have to deal with it. Sometimes the units just disappear when they die. And as long as we know that's there when we're looking at it, we should be okay. The first few times it really threw me through a loop because I was like, what just happened there? Where'd it go? You know, once you realize it's just disappearing, you should be fine. Blood for the Void God, apparently. 1-1. Oh my gosh, that infestation. Dude, is Serral playing the Mass Ultra style? The quick Ultra. Looks like he is. He's going to play Ling Infesta Ultra. It's the style I was trying to tell Serral to play 2 years ago. He screwed around with it on a live stream once, and I said, it's got potential. And he said, maybe. You know, but he was like, seems pretty dicey. I think the matchups hit an interesting place recently, where Raynor is the one who actually popularized this build recently. When I say popularized, I mean has beaten Clem with it a bunch of times and a bunch of other top players. I think it was inspired by Shin's kind of Roach Infesta opening into Quick Ultras, but this is a much more streamlined version. It's an incredibly, like, it's so greedy. I always thought you would have to go heavy Infesta Zergling and get the Hive up a bit later. But this is a very quick rush into that Hive. The Queens defend the south side quite well, take down a Marine or two. The Lings will deflect the Hellions, but Clem is being annoying. Serral wants to surround those. He's just not going to be able to, I don't think. A few Creep Tumors do get sniped. Nice turnaround for the Hellions. I know it was off screen there, but he did turn around just before the scan ran out and got those front Creep Tumors, the active ones. Ling's eating some big splashies. Hellbats are here. But as you can see, the Hive's already well underway, and he's up to 5 gases, so Serral's banking gas, ready for that Ultra Infesta swap. Sees the Infesta now with the scan, does Clem. He's wisely going to pull those Marines back and try to dodge those Fungals. He doesn't mind eating Fungal on the Hellbats, but the Marines do not want to get hit by Fungal. Massling counterattack! Yeah, baby! Beautiful double Fungi! Oh! Some people say they don't like mushrooms. Well, guess what? Clem's boys better like mushrooms. They just got fungled all over. To be fair, most of them survived, though. They got out of there. It pushes it back, but oh, Clem turning around is bad. Those Marines are deep in the red. He should not be fighting. Serral did take an advantage in the unit's loss, but you got to realize that's not always enough. He's only equal on workers or close to it. I don't see the Ultra Cavern down just yet either. Feels like he spent his money on the Adrenal and the 2-2 upgrades, which he has a slight lead on. He's built 2 more Infestors, Overlord speed, but surely he needs an Ultra Cavern. Serral, I think he thinks he placed the Ultra Cavern, but he didn't, guys. It's crazy. He's continuing to commit to Massling Infesta here. That Fungal kind of whiffed. He doesn't have any Infestor energy left. The Marine Widowmine is going to be very hard to fight. Clem realizes there's nothing there, but the counterattack is big. And that is where the damage could come in, especially if he gets a few Lings in the third mineral line, which Serral splits off. I know it's on the other side of the map, guys. You can't see it, but I am casting off the minimap as well. The Lings are in the third mineral line. They're not getting any SCVs, though. Clem defends at home. And look at this push on the front. Absolutely ridiculous. Gets a bunch of Queens, a whole lot of Zerglings. But if a Fungal lands before he can pick up, that would be big, but he's not able to. And he is able to save the Marines, is Clem. Clem saving Marines, picking up and dropping, and he's in a corner. Oh, what an absolute D-bag. And you know what? If you Fungal, he's just going to pick up and dodge the projectile. Okay, there we go. Okay, the Medivacs had to pull back from the Queens. That was a good Fungal. Dude, the Transfuse. He saves the hatchery. He saves it. Down to 50 hit points, but he saves it. Still no Ultra Cavern. Serral, he realizes if he plays this style, Clem's going to try and kill him before the Ultras are out, so he delays the Ultra Cavern. I don't think that's a genius move, though. I think it's a mistake. He's now finally building it. It's so very late. Adrenal is done. 2-2's almost finished. The problem is the Widowmite count's growing. He's got to keep countering. The Lings have to stay active. He can't just be fighting this front on. One of the big problems Serral's having is production. He's floating 700 minerals. That's not because Serral has bad macro. It's because he's only building Zerglings and Queens, and he needs an immense amount of lava to make that work. That was a fantastic intercept, though. Got a lot of Marines there, and he's going to be able to take out a few more. These 2-2 Adrenal Zerglings are a force to be reckoned with. Clem, though, has a 4th command center up and established. He has a Liberator outside the base, which is a thorn in Serral's side. What is the animal that the lion gets the help from to pull the thorn out of its paw, guys? I think Serral's hoping the Ultralisk is that creature right now. He needs something to get rid of these positions. It's a mouse. I don't think an Ultralisk is a very mousy animal, but dude, the Lings are getting in. That is a little bit like a mouse swarm. The Transfuses are going down on those Queens. Ling Infesta comes in. Great Fungal. Very good chain on the fungal as well, but with individual medevac healing, it's wild. 19 workers go down. He's got to get rid of the lib. Serral needs to break that position now. He needs to just push down with these queens and get rid of these libs because they are causing way too much zone control. Look at this. Clem will not give up this position. He's playing like such a bag of Ds. You might say, what do you mean Ds? D's nuts! That's what these liberators are saying right now. There's a bloody siren going off because people are saying that's an illegal ledge. Sir, step away from that ledge. That is an illegal ledge. Stop abusing that ledge. That's illegal in 19 different counties. Get away from... I think Serral just has to give that base up, guys. He can't keep fighting for that ledge. He can't keep fighting for it. The link counters are good, but oh, the Widow Mines! They're getting some good damage. He doesn't have overseers. There's just so many Widow Mines. Widow Mines are one of the most insanely fast-producing units in the game. There are 16 of them on the map. Ultras will do okay against them. He's got 3 Ultras, 3-3, and Chitinous Plating on the way. Guess what? Clem never started 3-3. And still, the bio just running in as if they've got no fear. You can just kill the medevacs with fungal. Yeah, you just fungal and queen focus fire. And he does take care of it. Finally, we do see an overseer there. Some good spreadies on the Zerglings as well. 10 more SCVs have gone down. This is a knife fight in a phone booth right now, guys. The link counters have been savage. Clem is down in workers, but not massively. Serral's only on 71 workers himself, and he has not found the room to get a Spire. The amount of pressure means there's no Spire. Corruptors added to this wins the game. You don't have Corruptors, it's awfully difficult, and you can see that the Widow Mines being a big nuisance. Queens could focus the libs or the medevacs. It's really hard, though, and I think that move might win. This might actually win it. Those libs are killing him. Yes, one of the medevacs goes down, but so much Ling Ultra goes down in the middle of the map. Ultras get caught there as well. Chitinous Plating may be finished, but 3-3 is not. Dude, the Liberators are such a problem. The Liberators are such a problem. Oh, man. The Liberators just make everything come undone. Serral pulls out an amazing build order. But it's a map that is very, very hard to stop these frontal pushes. And the parade just doesn't stop. Oh, he's back on the illegal ledge. Turns out this time the fire station isn't going to sync up with the commentary, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. I don't control those, believe it or not. Queens are going to try and get rid of this lib, but my gosh. Oh, he can't get on it. Oh, my... Just don't... Oh. Clem's playing very good StarCraft, guys. I am simping for Serral a bit in this series. The reason is, I know if Serral doesn't get a win early, it's going to be nearly impossible. Even if he's up 2-0, I still think Clem might be favored. He's just that good. He's so hard to beat. But this map, really tough, I think, for Serral. And as we can see, these Liberators have just managed to pick him apart. I do think the delay on the Ultra Cavern was tragic. I don't know if it was a mistake or not. I do hope the commentators ask Serral about that after this, whichever way this finals goes. Because I really wonder where that Ultra Cavern was a bit earlier. I think some Ultras would have broken out much easier. The Ultras are chasing, though. Dude, is he ransacking the third? He gets the second factory down. Serral's so far behind on income, though. If he can't get the win, it won't be enough. And those Marauders, they can kite all day. Chat says TVZ seems pretty balanced. I am not talking about balance at all. I'm talking about Serral versus Clem. Clem is one of the most ridiculously unfair players in this matchup we've ever seen. And him against Serral. Serral's very good, but he struggled to keep up with Clem's pace for a long time. Often Zergs used to be able to find ways to kind of make the opponent fight themselves a little bit, and you know, you're always distracting him and countering him, but it feels like every time you counterattack Clem, he hits you just as hard on your side of the map while defending, because his multitasking is just that good, and very few players are able to do that. It really is a Clem special. Serral's way down in supply. 20 workers as well as a problem. He does get rid of the medevac with 2 Marauders inside, and that's worth a fungi, but just that supply death. Feels like Clem on 5 bases has so much time now to build his next army. He's also got his 3-3, even though it started a little later than Zerg's, so the upgrades are even. Oh, he gets into the medevacs before the fungal lands, and the Reddit point medevac. If fungal landed on that, it would have taken it out. Once again, an illegal thing. Guys, you aren't allowed to pick up your children in a medevac on 9 hit points. Clem, though, breaking all the rules. He says, don't worry, I'm a good driver. Sir, your wheels are coming off. There's no steering wheel. This is not safe. But he loads up his Marines, gets him out of there anyway. Clem says, trust me, idiot. Bio stimming back and forth. Libs are there on the ledge. The drop dancing around the main base as well. The Ultras getting blasted down. Dude, and Liberators on these ledges are actually so abusive because spores can't burrow on ledges. Oh my gosh. These libs have just been brutal, man. I do wonder if SERRAL should have ever taken that ledge base, though. I think that ledge base sucks. Even though the southern base is very exposed. Ultra Ling, though. Hello. Ultra Ling goes in. Wait. He's going to get rid of the base and 14 workers. He's going to lose all those ultras, though. Oh, that hurts. 3 ultras does hurt, but he runs in the south at the same time. Even more damage. Wowzers. SERRAL finding some big damage. He's got a lot of infestors. I'd like to see him burrow and split these infestors up a little bit. There's 5 ghosts coming out, and those infestors are in a clump. That is a problem. There's ghosts there. They know about the infestors. The infestors need to sneak in. They've kept Clem's economy very low. Clem doesn't have many orbitals. If he can spread these infestors around, I have hope for SERRAL. If he leaves those infestors there, though, oh no. Oh no, they're just sitting there, guys. Yes, the Burrowed Zergling's good. Okay, finally he burrows the infestors and runs them away. Good move, good move, good move. He's got 4 on a control group and the other 2 scattered around the map. Great moves there for SERRAL. This buys him time. He's actually in the economic lead now. He's on 6 bases. Has SERRAL actually fought his way back into this game with the power of Ultra Ling Infestor? He may have, but there are ghosts on the field. Luckily for SERRAL, it is low-income ghosts. I think there's only 3 or 4 orbitals, and that's really big. Because Clem doesn't have the planetaries, turrets, sensor towers everywhere. Lings are going to dive the north side, knowing that command center is trying to be retaken and the army was probably counter-pushing. Drop comes in the south. Some fungal could be good if it's in spore range, but only if it's in spore range. These guys need to get out. Oh, he's going to go for it. Mad Lad SERRAL thinks about going for it. He might have been able to take it out if he did commit. Maybe. Not sure. These guys come back in. No Spire. We saw it earlier in the Rainer vs. Clem series. If you can get the Corruptors out, obviously it does really well, but I'm not criticizing SERRAL. Like, look at his money, guys. He has no money. He's never maxed out. He's got... Affording a Spire here is a great way to just not have enough Ultras and just die. Even though the longer it goes without mobile anti-air, of course, these drops become very problematic. SERRAL going to try and get in control. Picking up the Marines, dropping on the other side. A bit too greedy there for Clem. Drop some Marines behind the gas as well. Oh, brutal. Looks like the Ultra Ling getting washed up by those Marine Marauders. The snipes coming in when the Infestors goes down. As you can see, that's a nasty angle. Dude, he's so annoying. Finally, a fungal lands there. Does catch some of these Marines, which is very, very good for SERRAL, but Clem's calming down. Lib range coming in. Extra command center on the way. Only 2,000 resource loss difference between the two of them. A testament to the efficiency of this style, but good luck getting to 80 or 90 workers when you're playing an Infestor style as opposed to Baneling style. Really hard to do. You got to be efficient. SERRAL's done a great job of it, but is that going to be enough? Big drop down here in the south side. Fungal landed in the middle, caught a bunch of the Marauders. A few Infestors got focused down as that Marauder gets yeeted off the map. Don't know if that was a glitch or not, but we just saw a Marauder go flying to the right side of that screen. Ultra Ling here as well. Medevac's going to pick up and go to the left side. Lings are going to go there. Wow. Okay. Right now, SERRAL's back to 5. Clem's taking a 6th. It's not a good sign, but at least a Burrowed Zergling will delay the take of that base. Infestor! No, 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 no! Not sure if that Infestor revealed himself. Oh, the Ultra Infestors. Ah, he did, he did. He saw it. Clem, too good at spotting that stuff. A couple of Widow Mines at least go down, but look at this. Redrop in the south. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen any queens since the early game. You're not wrong. It's hard to respread creep or get his queens back up. SERRAL has been on a very small economy for a long time. He's trying to shove. The Libs will take out the Infestor, which means it's just a big pack of Ultras and Lings. If those Snipes can land, that'll be really devastating for SERRAL. Ultras trying to get on top of the production. The Snipes starting to land. A few of these Ultras will go down. SERRAL knows, even though you might think that looks like he's winning that fight, SERRAL's economy's ripped apart behind it. He knows he's just going to get kited to death up that ramp. And Clem wins map 1, crushing through the Ling Infestor style. All right, guys, going into the next game. It's got waterfalls. It has little moopies dancing on the side around the corpse of a Terran unit. They'll be cheering on SERRAL, no doubt. There are some nice flowers, some little beams, and of course, this is SERRAL's map pick, guys, as we go into Persephone. I love these little map intros they've got. Maestros of the game, brought to you by Comeback TV, the legends that they are. We really appreciate them. Top left side of the map, of course. Representing France, Baguettes, and Team Liquid. He is Clem. Sorry, guys. I can't hear the French guys, so I don't know when they're going to do the intro zoom. Clem! Teemo liquids! Clem! We can just keep trying to do this. Or I could do it reactively once I see them zoom. Clem for Team Liquid. I think I'll just start introing after they do the zoom in and start showing the player out next time. In the bottom left side of the map, of course, representing Basilisk, a rough game one. It was a cool style, but it's a tough map, man. It's one of those games you look at that and you go, I think that would have worked if he did it on this map. But now he's given away that build. I don't think he'll have confidence doing it twice in a row. You can, was that you can kill Clem? What did that say? It said you can something Clem. Alright guys, command center up here in the natty. One SCV scouting across the map. Clem not taking any chances here. Serral going for a very straight up hatchcast pool. Now this map's longer. It's got a healing shrine on the right side to heal up ground units. Clem does like to heal his Hellions up there. I've seen him get him taken advantage of on this map, actually, by someone. Some people have tried Roach Ling all-ins against him because they can kind of damage their Hellions, and then when they go to the healing shrine, there's like a gap in the map vision, and the Roaches can sneak across. Hard to pull off, though, and not something that it looks like. I mean, so you can do a normal opening like this and still do it, but we'll see. Not again! Serral! Okay. Oh, guys, you don't understand. That last game was so close. If he didn't lose that drone early, I think he usually wins that game. Just with like how the rest of it went, that one drone mining all game, do you know how much money that gives you and how much it just gives you a few more units at each stage? Everything happens a bit faster, but Serral tried to go for the extractor. Clem moved his Reaper in and actually blocked the extractor from being placed. A move which you would expect Serral to predict, but perhaps a little bit thrown off his game. Clem microing like a beast so far in this series, causing a lot of troubles for the Finnish Zerg. Now, guys, they did do some filler content in between. I haven't seen... Did they do an interview for Clem, guys? If so, what was Clem's favorite animal? You guys let me know. And was it a seal or a panda bear, maybe? I know he used to have one of those floating next to his command center. The polar bear, that's it, yeah. Did I call it a panda bear? The emblem, the polar bear. Okay, it was the polar bear. Serral said it's pig. A pig. He likes pigs, so I'm definitely rooting for Serral even more than I would have been, because I feel like Serral has to do a lot of creative special builds to have a chance against Clem. I think Clem can just play his game, use his great tactics, fantastic micro, and overwhelm Serral. And it's on Serral to put Clem in difficult positions. And I think, honestly, you know, if Serral just beats him anyway, that's great. I love Serral. I love Clem. If Clem beats him anyway, I love Clem. But I want him to have to work for it. I want him to get put in some hard positions and weather the storm. If he can do that, I'll be so impressed. The Reaper's surviving. Ling's sneaking out. Interesting. Okay. Oh, this is a good Ling run by, guys. Sneak some Lings past us. Serral, sneaky tactics. He's, yeah, okay. Okay, he's just going to go. He's just going to go. Oh, did he show his hand? Okay, scouting. He really wants to make sure that Clem is completely out of position. But the problem is the Banshee might fly over these guys. Serral doesn't want to pull the trigger too early, guys. This is either like genius, discipline, and patience, or it's him being a bit too scared. I do not know which one. The Lings now rotate to the right side, still waiting for their opportunity. He wants all the Hellions to move out. Clem has not made that move yet, but I think Clem always moves out to join up so that when the Banshee first attacks, the Lings go in. The Lings go in. The Lings go in. They sneak past. The Hellions aren't not at home, which means the SCVs are trapped on the outside. The Ling run by is in the base right now, guys. And already gets himself an SCV. Clem, can you not react so fast, you freak? He needs to shift-click some Lings on those SCVs, I think. Did he get one SCV and a mule in mining time? It's freaking illegal. How? It's just impossible to get damage against this guy. All of his SCVs were red and orange. But you need to get in there again later to finish them off. Otherwise, no cigar, mate. Clem, he's playing the color blue today. Of course, stands for blue balls, what he gives Zerg players every time they try to run Lings in his mineral line. And against the normal Terran, they'd kill 15 workers. Against him, they get 1. Goes back in and gets 2 more. At least that's a good disruption. Oh, 3 SCVs at the third. 3 SCVs in the open. The Lings don't see it, though. SERRAL, too busy multitasking. The SCVs make a getaway, man. Can't believe it. Oh, Queen's about to go down. Nice move there for Clem, but SERRAL does damage the Banshee, pushes it away. I do like the macro hatch along with the 4th base. Quick infestation pit again. SERRAL's going to play the same style. Same style, 2 games in a row. That gets me excited. My name's Big Pig and I'm excited. Oh, pullback with the Queen. Good pullbacks. Very good pullbacks. Oh, gets a few spore shots. I'd love to see him transfuse that Queen in the main, though, so that she can withstand the next wave. Lings here, ready to deal with these Hellions. They just clear some creep and have to back away, otherwise they will get surrounded. The Queen did get transfused, and she will push that Banshee back. Banshee's, of course, going to return home to repair at the 3rd base. 5 racks are up for Clem. 1-1 on the way. Now, the question is, what happens next? 2nd factory is the norm. But the question is, does he go 3 more barracks or a 4th command center? And how much does he prioritize the armory? Because we've got a super quick hive, which means could be ahead on the upgrades. Oh, Ling's going for a wraparound. Hello, Lings do surround the Hellions and the Reaper. Take care of those. These Lings run in. Oh, the damaged SCVs, finally! On the 3rd attempt, he gets 6 SCVs. SERRAL finally finding some value. The 1-1 Lings, or the +1 Carapace Lings, I should say, wreck those Marines. Gets 1 or 2 of them. The rest do pick up and save themselves for now. Spores probably want to move to the edge of that base, since Banshees aren't really an aggressive threat in the mineral line as much anymore. Infestors, +2 Carapace. Burrow on the way as well, very early on. This is going to be fascinating. I think one of the big things I'd like to see from SERRAL, especially if he delays Ultras like the last game, is I'd like to see Infestors scattered around a bit more to defend his bases. Like if you have one burrowed in the bottom left and the bottom right of the map out in front of those expansions, so that when he comes in with drops, you see it coming, and you have the fungal ready to land on his units. Speaking of which, oh, he only gets 3 of them. Clem's so freaking quick, dude. Such a quick reaction. Once you're in the medevac, you're mostly safe there. Adrenal once again comes in really fast, guys. Allowing this Mass Ling style to get some momentum. He doesn't want Clem to always have the momentum. There's a tank on the high ground, though. Oh, that tank on the high ground. Does he even get the tank? You're kidding me. He doesn't even kill the tank. Okay, he caught a whole bunch of Marines in the bottom right, though. So, yes, he takes an awkward trade, but that's okay. Clem's going to repair that siege tank. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that tank survived, man. Ultra Cavern comes down, though. Question is, when does he go Banelings and when does he go Corruptors? I think Corruptors have to take priority. I think they're the more important unit. Medevacs, of course, blocked by that air blocker around that healing shrine. They cannot heal there. Clem's 2-2 was late. Oh, very good point. He actually went for a very quick armory even before 2nd factory, guys, which is a suboptimal build order, because he could have squeezed the 2nd factory and still had the armory on time. But despite that, he still forgot to start 2-2, which means 2-2 is miles ahead for SERRAL. And his Ultra Cavern's almost done. Adrenal's going to be here soon. Not the best micro. You can see a few times when SERRAL's so distracted by all the multitasking he's got to do that his Lings don't immediately click in. Scan to allow the base to burrow. Spire and Baneling Nest. Oh my gosh. I've been talking about Corruptor Baneling for so many years. And it's crazy because I don't think anyone listened to me, guys. I think the Zergs are just so desperate against Clem because he's that good that they're literally willing to try anything. I've been for 2 years going on about Ultraling Bane Corruptor being such a good noob comp. I never really thought it would be that good at pro level, but it's good to see that the late game transition is there, because I always noticed that the Ultras are really good, but then the Liberators get out of control. The Corruptors deal with that. The Banelings are mostly there for ghosts and supply efficiency. It's because they're the best unit for stopping the ghost snipe, interrupting that, because if you damage them, the snipe gets interrupted. They're also, of course, just to have very efficient units in your army in terms of only costing half the supply for a good little explodey boy. This is cool. I mean, I love that he's trying this style. Great fungal. And this is the thing. I've said for a while, Clem is so stupidly aggressive with his Marines. You should not be able to keep attacking like this all over the place when you know infestors are everywhere. Because you can't watch everything at once. You should get caught by fungal and your units should get killed, and that should put the Zerg ahead. Of course, in practice, most of the time, Clem keeps attacking everywhere, and he just overwhelms the Zerg and says, you don't have enough attention, APM, you keep missing fungals because I'm good at picking up and dodging, and I just out-multitask you, basically, and win that way. But I've said, ever since we first saw Shin, I was looking at the games, and I was analyzing it, and I was like, I mean, this has to be, like, Clem won some of those games against Shin, even though he lost the series, but he did it in a way where he shouldn't have won those games doing that, right? He basically walked into fungal repeatedly, gave it zero respect, and I have said that Clem is so good, sometimes he doesn't counter a problem strategically, he counters it just by basically overwhelming the player to the point where they fall apart on their ability to keep pace with him. And SERRAL this time on this bigger map has not let that happen. He's in control. We've got 5 Overlords dropping Zerglings in the main base. That is such a supply-efficient drop. He's going to take out some of these barracks, some of these add-ons, some SCVs. And at the same time, he's running in the front side. Here we go. But no, he pulls back on the front. Oh, I mean, there's like 10 Widow Mines there, so I kind of understand. Banelings are actually also good against Widow Mines, guys. I know that might sound like the opposite, but Banelings, if you get them in the middle of those Widow Mines, 3 Banelings will kill all of those. So it's a good way to kill the Widow Mines very quickly. Obviously, you don't want mass Banelings against the Widow Mines, but it can be really nice just to hit those clumps of them whenever you catch them out of position, or to bust a planetary down. All right, Clem's trying to establish a 5th. I think he's going to try and just lock everything down. I imagine for him, we see Widow Mines burrow everywhere. Turrets may be ringing the main, so more Lings can't get in there. I'd love to see a redrop of the main, because honestly, I think Clem's left it wide open. I think he's kind of assuming, oh, SERRAL won't do that move again. But in fact, that main base is wide open. Clem is disrespecting SERRAL right now. Let's see what SERRAL can do about it. Mass fake drop, fake drop! Fake drop goes into the main base. It is not real, of course. Clem doesn't know that, so he's reacting to it. The Lings do take some pretty nasty Widow Mine shots. The Baneling's going to go after the Planetary Fortress. If you go after the Ghosts, does he have enough to actually kill the base? The answer is no. He split too many Banelings. Oh, tragic. SERRAL with a bit of a doopy-doop there, and he doesn't get the damage. He split a few too many Banes onto the Ghosts and wasn't quite able to get it. Beautiful play by Clem to keep that Planetary alive, and that's a big amount of bank he spent to not get much value. That is the bit of breathing room Clem needs, because look at Clem's production tab. Give him 2 more minutes. He's going to be ahead of SERRAL. Give him 8 more minutes, or even 5 more minutes. He's miles ahead. Like, he's going to have the late game stuff. Don't get me wrong, SERRAL's one of the best late game players of all time. And with the Ghost being 3 supply, Terran is weaker in the late game than they used to be. But if this was like any other Zerg, I would say, you know, Clem now is in the advantageous position. Ling Bane Ultra coming forwards. Banes are going to roll through. Lings and 1 Ultra going after the Planetary. Fungal's trying to land. He does cop an EMP, but only to 1 Infestor. Gets the Planetary and pulls away. Good pullback timing. I think he could ambush. I think he could turn and ambush this army, but I guess he doesn't have any Banes, and with only 3 Ultras, does not want to risk taking a nasty fight into that Ghost Marauder. Has a single Corruptor been made? No. Corruptors are for winning games, guys. SERRAL's making range upgrades. He's forgotten about Corruptors, man. Corruptors would wreck this army as well. Spore Crawler's there. Fungal could be good on the Medivacs maybe, but with nothing else that shoots up, maybe not. Ooh, army's going to counter fast though. He's denying this top right base as well. Widow Mine does take out an Ultra there. Ling's clearing up a few of these Widow Mines. So many Widow Mines. Oh my golly. Oh, Fungal! Lands only on 1 Widow Mine, 1 Ghost, and a few Medivacs. Nothing too impactful. Another Planetary goes down though. That's a huge move. These Infestors need to get out though. He's got to get out. There's still a lot of Lings to try and cover them. Of course, Clem chases him like the mad lad he is. Clem eats a Fungal on a few of those Marauders. 2 of the Infestors do burrow. The Lings could turn to cover that retreat, but I think SERRAL's just going to say, nope, just pull back, get out of here. Trying to rebuild some Overlords to make sure he's not supply blocked. Clem has a massive bank, but losing all those bases of mining means over the next few minutes, he's going to be mining way less than SERRAL. SERRAL's income already several thousand resources a minute more than Clem's. If he can keep denying these bases, that'll be good. But SERRAL a little slow on this next Remax, and most importantly, he's slow on rebuilding Infestors, number 1, and number 2, he has not built Corruptors yet, which are absolutely vital to putting Clem in the ground, because you have Corruptors when you're chasing these armies back, killing Libs, killing Medivacs. That's going to be massive. It also shuts down and hard punishes any sort of counterattacks, and that's why 3 Corruptors coming in, not bad. I'd like to see 7, but I think he's still... SERRAL's had such good control. He might have too many Queens right now. There's a point in the late game where you can actually have too many Queens. They're not very useful in the late game, as they chew up a lot of supply. You'd much rather have an army, especially right now when you're up 30 drones. That's the real thing that I'm worried about. Clem already has so much bank. He's got time to recover here. And he's got a big army advantage. If you don't land good spells on this could be a real disaster for SERRAL. Big army push on the front. Ultra's trying to jump on. Where are the Corruptors? They're coming in now. But dude, the Marine Marauder running in. Big damage. Infesta though. Infesta says, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Clem, have you met your maker? Here comes the Baneling. Here comes the Ultra. The Corruptors are there as well. The Medevac's going to go deeper in the base, which I think is a bad move. Overlords are getting sniped. Corruptors are here along with the Ultras. He's going to redrop to snipe the hatchery because his name is Clem and he's such a D-bag in the most complimentary sense of the word, guys. I gotta say, if you gotta play against Clem, it is frustrating. I've had the pleasure of I would like to say dancing, but I don't think it's the right word, of getting punched in the face by Clem many times over the last couple of years in weekly tournaments. And it's funny because you'd think as a guy who gets beaten up by all the pro gamers, you wouldn't tell the difference. But there's something more embarrassing when you're playing Clem, where it really does feel like you're just playing at 1/3 of his speed when you're playing your best ever StarCraft. He is just everywhere at once. He's so annoying. Despite that, I do think SERRAL is winning this game. He's in a pretty good spot. He's got Infestas burrowed around. That one does get caught. He's been denying the bases. Clem's bank is mostly gone. And if SERRAL can keep getting these good engagements, this could be absolutely delectable. Gets a few Marines there with the surround. Does dodge most of that Widow Mine as well. And these Corruptors and Overseers are the secret. Overseers to help detect the Widow Mines. Corruptors to shoot down the Libs and Medevacs and punish this kind of scrappy, dropping sort of style that Clem is so keen on going for. Ooh, Ultraling Bane jumps on top of that army that's caught kind of moving into the speed zone. You do not want to fight Zerg in that speed zone, literally ever. And the Ultraling just take the base out and then quickly run away. Beautiful disengage for SERRAL. Love to see him focus those Widow Mines on the way out since they are right on top of him. Here comes more Ultras, Banes, and Corruptors. Ling's going to pivot to the left side where they're going to go for a counterattack. Gold base. It's in a very exposed position right now. Oh, misclick! Clem just misclicked his army into the Ultra Bane. Oh, big mistake for him. Did lose a few units. Not as much as I thought he was going to. Clem's still up 25 army supply right now. Is that going to be enough? The Corruptors flying in along with these Ultras. The important part is the Zerglings there. The Widow Mines tried to retarget on the Ultras a little bit, but it's so hard to actually pull that off. Corruptors will take care of those Libs finally. And of course, it is Clem on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. SERRAL is on 7. And with these Corruptors taking care of those Libs, which they are taking a while to do, but with 2-1 upgrades, he's getting there. Slowly but steadily. Starting to find the value. Still might be a few too many queens, though I think some of them did go down on this right side. Losing these queens might be good. You just really want 1 or 2 queens at this stage, other than maybe the... I guess he needs inject still. Oh, big fungal, though. Big fungal. Great fungal, but nothing to capitalize, I don't think. He's got a few Banes right there. Fungal on the medevac, so he couldn't pick up with all of them, but... Oh, dude, he misses that fungal. He's going to drop in the healing zone. Oh, no, this might be amazing for Clem. Clem drops in the healing zone. Oh, SERRAL keeps fighting into it. This is a no-no. SERRAL, this is a big no-no. The Corruptors will come in, though, and get rid of the medevacs. The Bio on the healing zone, though, doing surprisingly well. The Ultras are still up here, though, saying, hey, outside of the healing zone, you guys cannot stand and swing. Not with us. Corruptors take out the medevacs. The Libs are going to go down. Clem, he's out of steam. And you can see him typing GG there and accepting surrender. All right, guys. I don't even know what map this is, but it looks cool. Oh, here it is. It's Pylon. A very good Terran map, which is funny because it's called Pylon. So you'd think it's good for Protoss, but in this matchup, my golly, Zergs are afraid. SERRAL, though, used up his veto on Ultra Love, saying that map is even worse than this one for ZVT against Clem. We'll see what happens. Bottom right side, Team Liquid's Clem. And the top left side, great game in the last one. I love seeing this heavy Ling Infesta style. Infesta Disable, fantastic ability. Really cool to see it getting used a lot more. We'll see if Basilisk's SERRAL can keep it up. I don't think we'll see Infestas this game, or if we do, it'll be off Roach Ravager play. But I really think we're going to see an all-in or some sort of like mid-game timing for him. As sitting back and playing defensively against Clem is not a fun way to play StarCraft. If Clem has you on the defensive, you might as well tap out or hope that someone unplugs his keyboard. It's SERRAL for Basilisk. That's a fair analysis, but also keep in mind Zerg has enough advantages with creep and vision that Clem kind of has to play this I'm just going to out-mechanic you style to a certain extent. On the other hand, it is annoying sometimes to feel like SERRAL is just the smartest, best preparer in the world and still struggles so hard against these other players. But, I mean, that's it. StarCraft is such a broad competition. I often like to liken it to MMA, where you can have someone who looks so amazingly godlike in a certain matchup and then kind of appallingly bad in another one. You've got players who are so good when they're attacking and flowing and doing cool stuff, and the moment they get put on the defensive, they just fall apart. Or they're so good in a certain matchup and so bad in another one. It's just, you know, StarCraft's a really diverse game where you kind of just have to be good at very many different skills. So it's kind of fascinating to see the way this matchup goes. And I love to, like I said, I'm super SERRAL biased. If SERRAL becomes favored in the matchup again, I'll probably be a bit more Clem favored in my commentary where I'm like, oh, you know, how's he going to do it? But I really feel it's often about what special tactics SERRAL brings out to throw the curveballs. Clem has a variety of openings, but it's a pretty familiar Rolodex of builds that he pulls out, right? He's got his Hellion Banshee. Did do Hellion Lib before. But usually it's, you know, Hellion Banshee or 2-1-1 off 3 Command Center. Sometimes 2-Rex Reaper into it. He's got a range, but like, because Clem is the favorite, and he does seem like the better player. Oh, great run by. 1 SCV, can he get a second? Oh, would have loved him to focus one there. He's going to go for the Marine, though. Ooh, that's slick. The Lings are actually going to pull back and survive. 1 Ling for 1 SCV and 1 Marine. Delicious play there. And he's just continuing to cancel and rebuild this Extractor. Does he do it again? Oh, he gets blocked. The Reaper standing next to the gas. Does get himself a drone kill, but he had to work hard for it. And I think the Ling counterattack more than made up for that, punishing the Reaper for just camping that drone. Here we go. Alright, so it looks like... Oh, they're back in there. Where are your Hellions, mate? Another 2 SCVs go down. And a Hellion. Oh, dude, SERRAL's so technical in this opening. It's taking a little bit of the wind out of the sails of Clem. Look at Clem's body language. Clem's body language there. He looked frustrated, swiveled his head a little bit, took a big breath in. You can tell he's kind of going, okay, don't tilt, don't go. Like, it's 1-1. We've had a slightly negative start. It's not the end of the world, right? But these sort of little Ling run bys are amazing. Evo Chamber to block. Drones to block him getting up the ramp. But, oh, SERRAL just knows he can't let him up there. But great drone surround. Does get a few of the Hellions down. Reaper goes down as well, but 6 drones are down. Lings on the other side. Oh, the Hellions escape. Of course they do. I forgot Terran units come with lubricant. Meanwhile, Zerg units just get stuck. I'm kidding, guys. I'm not that biased. That was just good play for Clem there. Good mixture of counter pressure. You can tell SERRAL wasn't prepared. Didn't want to let him up the main. Loses 6 drones for it. Meanwhile, not quite enough Lings for the full surround on those Hellions. If he had just a few more Zerglings, maybe just 2 or 3 more, he might have got a full surround there. I think, though, Clem is now right back in this game after that last little interaction. Even though he has traded some Hellions away for it, you know, SERRAL's been distracted from his macro, so I'm sure he's missed a little bit of inject time, maybe had a little bit of lava stack up as well. Even the best players in the world will have these little inefficiencies if they're microing Lings in their opponent's base and defending Hellions at the same time. Banshee caught between 2 queens, stuck between a queen and a queen place. We call that the queen sandwich. Ooh, high tea, some people call it. Hellion's getting kind of wrapped around by the Lings. Good drone pull away. This is really good for SERRAL. SERRAL's going to slap this down. He's going to say, you thought you could come back in here? Oh, do you think this was your base? You thought you could set my children on fire? They're my kids. My drones are my babies. Get away from them. I think SERRAL kind of had like a Ripley in alien energy there. Actually, aliens, right? Get away from her, you bitch. Lings are going to come in to counter the third as well. Going to find an SCV. Not bad. Hey, 2 SCVs. Alright, SERRAL's work account has been slowed down a lot this game. Despite that, Carapace is finishing, and double upgrades haven't even started for Mr. Clem. Is there a lair up? SERRAL's making a drop lord on the right side. He's making a lot of overlords because he has little supply blocks. If he has a lair and he can start +2 Carapace, oh my gosh, he can. Oh, wow, is SERRAL just miles ahead now? He might be after getting rid of those Hellions. Clem does look tilted. I mean, Clem fought back with crazy aggression and had some successes, but then that last Hellion dive by threw away his map presence. And now if Serral can reset and respread creep it, he could get in a really good spot. 3 drones, nice follow-up, really nice follow-up. Lings run over to the Banshees and say, screw you, get out of our airspace. Serral was ahead in the early game, then Clem was ahead, and now Serral's ahead off the early game, significantly. I really think getting rid of the Hellions was big, but the Banshees are doing a good job of at least slowing the creep down. Like, he can't spread this creep. He does spread it. Luckily, he doesn't get it cleared by the Banshees. I think he's got a good idea of where those Banshees are. So as long as he defends these drones, gets the Queens there. He's going to lose a few drones. Well, not too bad. Ling drop gets in. Well, normally you go after SCVs, but you know what? Clicking the reactor might actually be a good play. The Overlord actually loads up. Who drives out of there in a slow Overlord? And he escaped. Guys, the Dropper Lord escaped. It's still there on the minimap. The slow Overlord just got away from the Stim Marines. Serral just loaded up a bunch of guys from a bank heist in a golf cart and just escaped from the police. You don't see that every day. Oh, my lord. Double drop dancing around 72 workers to 67. Clem's got 4th CC on the way, 8 racks. His upgrades are behind, but he's stabilizing in terms of like economy setup. And the creep spread's not good for Serral. That's a big cost of this early game.
Forces under attack.
All right, redrops. I think the Lings can take that fight though. That was totally fine for Serral. Playing Ling Bane, always a little dicey against Clem though. Oh my gosh. How many times do we see Clem just win with like random stuff? And he gets an Infestor as it pops out. How many games does this guy win with 2 Medevacs and Marines? Oh, hold that thought. Banes do rolling. He reacts in time. No, he saves it. Doesn't lose anything. 1 Marine, 1 SCV for like 10 Banes. Guys, Clem's got this game in the bag. I kid you not. This game has just completely switched back. Yes, he lost some Marines, but he's done so much damage. He's caught Infestors. And now he's backing on the right side. He's so good with multi-dropping. It is so unfair how good he is at StarCraft. I don't know how else to commentate this, guys, because it's too fast. I can't tell you in real time, especially not when I'm not controlling the camera. Clem is unreal. It is unreal how good he is at that multitasking. It is actually ridiculous. I don't think Banelings were the play. I think if he was going to play Banelings, he should have played Hydras instead of Infestors. I do love Infestors, but I think Ling Bane's awful on this map. Let's see how it goes, though. Fungals! Big Fungals! I think the Widow Mines killed a lot of Terran units there as well. I think that was amazing for Serral. I think he just got an amazing fight. Sorry, guys, I think they were a bit too long on the crowd cam there. There's a lot of clapping going on. It's good to see the hype, but of course, you know, great amateur production here between the team doing it at Comeback TV. Amazing legends for putting it together. Oh, not again. Not again. How's he always in your base when you're not looking? Because it's so hard to be everywhere. High ground, low ground, high ground, low ground, high ground, low ground. Every Zerg's worst nightmare. +3 Carapace is on the way. Clem, though, has a 4th up and is up 10 workers. That's the problem. Terran can't be up a base in 10 workers. Or up, I mean, not up, but even bases in 10 workers. But with the upgrades, like, there's still hope here for Serral. But he's got to find a way to stabilize. I just don't know if that's possible, man. And he's like, I'm going to drop here now. Now I'm going to drop over here. Now I'm dropping here as well. Ooh, Lings do take a big smear. Good fight for Clem. Really good D. And it looks like he didn't unload in the main base. The medevacs were still just loaded up. These Marines... Uh-oh. They're walking in the wrong part of town, man. Dude, that's me on my run this morning. I accidentally ran through a ghetto. It was crazy. Anyways, bunch of Marines there hanging out. Widow Mines everywhere as well. Fungals going down. Let's go. It wasn't really a ghetto. Lings are trying to run around the map as well. Serral's, he's outnumbered. The Banelings really have not found the mark this game, unfortunately. Oh, and Pylon's a small map now with lots of good ledges, lots of good setups. That tank on the low ground is going to cause so many issues. The Lings do spread nicely and set off most of the Widow Mines, which is really smooth, but he's got no damage output behind it. A handful of Hydras. A bunch of Lings have to get pulled from the left side just to survive this attack, but he's out of Fungals. Serral, he's got 2-2 against 1-1. +2 attack now kicks in for the Marines. He's got to get rid of this position as quickly as he can. Of course, the drop flies right past the Hydras, disrespecting it entirely because his name is Clem. And he shows no respect as part of his trademark style is I just keep attacking. So what if they're well defended? He says attack harder. But what if they have defenses set up in front? Push through the defenses. What's the answer? Push faster, harder, stronger, multitask better, outplay them every single turn. My name is Clem and I am the king of Terran for a reason. He may not be the greatest player of all time in terms of his history and his records, but he is by far the greatest skill player we have ever seen in StarCraft 2. Clem, I don't think there's many people who would argue that. When it comes to the multitasking, the tactics, the micro, the speed, pace, and rhythm he can play at, it is second to none. Marine Marauder poking around. Clem's got lots of command centers coming up. SERRAL does manage to defend his side of the map. He had a few successful engagements there, but he's got a lot more work to do. How much more does Clem have to do before we start calling him the GOAT? Well, it would have helped if he won this year's World Championship. You don't have that many opportunities these days in StarCraft 2 in terms of big LAN events to set yourselves apart, so that was a big one for him, unfortunately. It's going to take him quite a few years. It's hard to compete with the likes of SERRAL. Just look at SERRAL's sheet of results and then look at Clem's, you know? Hydra's looking really good on this left side. Dude, if he can land one more fungal! Oh, it only got one Marine. Hydra Infestor's so good against Biomine, guys. And Clem a little bit slow to transition into Libs. Problem, SERRAL's on Hydras, and he's only on 68 workers. I don't think he can afford a Corruptor transition, but I think he might have to, because once this Lib Ghost gets out, Hydras will not cut it. They get one shot by snipes, and Libs can kill them. Libs can't kill Corruptors. Takes 2 snipes to kill a Corruptor. It's going to be hard. SERRAL doesn't have a lot of creep spread either. He doesn't have a lot of things to fall back on. Not to mention the fact that he just won't respect him. Burrow's coming in. The Lings just take an absolute walloping. And he just goes deeper. Of course he does. Kiri, 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 which is, of course, Japanese for deeper, 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 guys. Something which is Clem's motto. He has it written on his t-shirt. It's his motto. Oh, Ling's in the third, though. Ling's in the third. Did he go too deep with his whole army? He's diving the right and the left. He's got 2 armies in the Zerg base. One on the left, one on the right. The Ling Hydra is going to break him, but the Infestor Hydra is not good at a base trade. I think the Bio might be. Oh, man, this game's about to hit the fan, guys. Oh, Widow Mines get a good smear. Hydras will take care of some of these Libs. Is that going to be enough, though? I really have no idea. The Widow Mine's getting great shots. Fungals! He shoves through with a Fungal Hydra shove. Dude, SERRAL the Mad Dog pushes in. SERRAL is at the end of his tether. Clem has pushed him into a corner, and there is nothing more dangerous than a cornered rabid finish man. He is right now chomping at Clem madly. Clem thought he had him under control, but SERRAL gets in there with some more Fungal Hydra, and he says, oh, I'm sorry, you've got ranged units, I've got ranged units now, as well as disables with an area of effect. But Clem comes home with half of his army. If those Infestors can try and escape, that would be amazing. Hydra's killing a lot of units, but he's got Lings coming in from behind as well. Oh, he lunges to the left, the Ghosts go down, the Bio getting hammered there. Dude, SERRAL, I can't believe it with the counterattack. Clem dove with both of his armies down both sides of the map. He said all aggression, no defense. SERRAL said hold my beer and answered in kind. And he actually found some amazing fights. Hydra, Infestor, absolutely dominant, mate. Beautiful, beautiful play. I cannot believe it. He was getting hammered. He was ahead, then he was behind, then he was ahead, then he was behind, and further behind, and further behind. He just kept losing fights, and he finally won some battles, but he was down in income, and he just had a pack of Hydraling Bane Infestor and not much going for him. But he finds the counterattack moment. Clem looked exasperated. There was an expression of disbelief. Clem knows he got that game from being bad for him back into his court. And yeah, he knows. He knows that. He just let that one slip away. Oh, he just went across with too many units, man. And you know what? Yeah, you pour that vodka. Channel that finish energy, SERRAL. You need that water now, more than ever, dog. Well played. All right, guys. Going on to Golden Wall. Clem in the bottom right side of the map. And man, he looked a little dejected after that last game. Remember though, SERRAL has to win this, and then it activates a final best of 3. Clem, he's already thinking about the beers, partying in the discotheque later tonight. That's what they call it, right? The discotheque? That's definitely what the kids do. Partying in Paris. Over in the bottom left side, though, And sometimes you got to talk to yourself, get out the emotion, right? And I think that's what Clem's doing there. Bottom left side, though, for Basilisk, a great win. Amazing upgrades that whole game long. That was really what kept him in it for SERRAL. And that counterattack time. Dude, pushing with Hydra and Festa, I was like, that's not the best army for base trading. But he got such good fights with it. Catching the bio when it moved up to the ledge in a clump when Clem wasn't looking with the fungal was amazing. Discoteca. La Biblioteca. Muneca. Disco... What is it? I can't remember the old community rap. Discoteca, Muneca, La Biblioteca. Is SERRAL gasless? Looks like he is, and I think he's going to full wall the front and expand to the south side. So 3 hatch gasless. Interesting. I think he'll play Roach Ravager here as well. Clem has gotten so good. All the top Terrans playing against Roach Ravager after gasless because you're just so defensive. There was that Pigfest game where SERRAL got him in the final game with the Carapace Ravager timing. Roach Ravager timing. That might work. That's good French pig. I know, guys. What can I say? Gracias. Question is, guys, do you think we'll see mech at all in this series from Clem? Because some people say, no, you should only play bio, you should only play mech. But you know what I always say? Like they say in France, ¿por qué no los dos? And that famous French crepe ad. The Reaper is there along with the SCV. Goes to block the third base, but of course it's taken behind the minerals below the main, so he's not able to get that one. Third command center on the way for Clem. You see, now that Clem's a little bit shook, I'm more excited for him now. I might focus on what he changes up a bit more in this game. It's hard to track the little details in both of their builds at once. Gas is on the way for SERRAL at a pretty standard timing. Could just be a Ling Speed opening like Raynor played against Clem on this map as well. Remember when Raynor played this gasless build, Clem went and built a third command center on the gold. And I was like, maybe SERRAL's got a special counter for that. He did build it in the main this time. So already Clem's like playing a little bit different. He's also going 2-1-1 up against gasless into Roach, which I think is a good matchup of build orders. Are players allowed to play multiple races in a single series? I think in the group stages, they might have said you had to pick one race for a series and stick to it for the whole series. I can't remember. I think they might have wanted to avoid players like randomly picking a race they're not as experienced at and then just dying to a basic cheese or attack because they're not as good at it. Can be a bit anti-hype sometimes when that happens. I can't remember if that was this tournament or a different one that had that rule. All right, Roach Horns up, Evo Chamber as well. Now on this map, I'm trying to think, where does SERRAL take his fourth base? And does he just go all in with Roach Ravager? I feel like he might feel like he has to, because the moment you wall off this top side, you're probably expanding to a fourth on the bottom. And that's weak to a push if you're playing macro. But if you're doing your own aggression, it's safe. Problem is, does that foreshadow what you're doing to Clem? So I think Clem is very sick of dying to Roach Ravager timings in important games. It doesn't happen to him much these days, but it happened to him enough back in the old days, many years ago. And I think that's burnt the memory of it and how to stop it into his brain. Les halfway done. 3 more gases coming up. So curious. What happens now? Because, wait, the gold base? Why would you take the gold? Oh, Clem. There's no way you can defend that from Roach Ravager. He must think it's a Ling style. Oh, that's an easy deny with Roach Ravager on that gold base. That's going to force Clem to reposition. That's going to take a lot of momentum away from Clem's style. I think. Then again, he's got a 2-1-1, so can you really move? I mean, I think SERRAL basically has to do the Dark Ravager. Get a single Ravager behind that gold mineral line, and then just run around in circles. I think that would be really good. This fourth base, though, indefensible. That's going to get cancelled very quickly. He's got 10 roaches and 5 queens. Okay, that's good that he started shooting it straight away, so SERRAL had plenty of time to react. Creep Tumor does go down. Drone as well. Roaches will deflect for now. Infestation pits on the way, as well as a second Evo chamber. SERRAL sitting on 61 drones. Clem on 54. And as long as Clem's allowed to mine the gold the whole time, I do think this is good for him. But it's all about, can he get a few minutes uninterrupted? Fourth base does start. Oh no, Serral! That's not a full wall, mate! He does have a few roaches there, though. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry, I just freaked out. I was staring at the wall. 4 drones is annoying. Serral does not like that. He doesn't want to be losing drones at this point. It's not the end of the world. And this means he can expand north to a 5th base as well, because he's not full walled. Full wall also can be weak to 2-on-1, because they can drop on the other side and snipe your tech structures and evos, without your army being able to move down to defend. A couple roaches get focused. A few marines go down. You cannot you cannot neural a transport with units inside. The thing is, normally the infestor can put its tentacle inside the pilot, but what happens is when there's other people inside, they see a big Zerg tentacle stick in and then they chop it off. That's my lore theory. Well, you can't neural parasite a prism, medevac, or overlord with units inside. Big army down here. Combat shields as well. It's hard to get down here in time as Serral, but he's got one fungal boy. One fungal boy! Oh! He does land a good juicy. Very nice fungal. Gets a few of these marines. Rest do pick up. Not a bad fungal. Hive's halfway done. He's going to go Bane speed melee. Ling speed +2 carapace. So Serral's going to play this like standard old school style. To be fair, no one's been doing this for a while. It could be really good. There are 8 racks coming in, I believe, for Clem. 2-2 started for him. About the same time as +2 carapace for Serral. It's going to be about Vipers if it's a tank push. Is it a tank push, though? Like, yes, there's some tanks out, but I don't see tanks in the production tab. I see a 4th command center. It is tanked production. Okay. Yeah, Viper is key. Just 1 or 2 Vipers is what... And adrenal glands is all Serral wants that hive for, really. I like the idea that the infestor doesn't know where to stick his tentacle when he has multiple options. I think it's more just like a performance issue. Like, there's too many people watching, so he just gets a bit... He's not quite able to make the magic happen, you know? Oh, another good fungal, guys. Going to trap about 5 or 6 marines. Hey, not bad. I mean, these aren't, like, amazing, but they are value, right? And if it was any other Terran, it would make them think twice about sending their whole army in. Of course, we're not talking about any other Terran. We're talking about Clem, who doesn't give an F. It just shoves his whole army on the 4th, and Serral's not in position to stop it. Oh, this is a good push. Clem showing 0 respect, and I think that's going to get the business done. Oh, wait, there's a lot of Ling Bane. Even more Banes coming in from behind. The Roaches taking out with some of the tanks. One tank does survive, needs one more pile. There's still a Fungal available and Banelings. Lots of Banelings and Fungal could seal the deal, but the Roaches blocking the Banes. The tank gets a massive short, kills like 6 Banes. Oh, Clem's got it. Clem's got it. Clem's got it. He can kill the 4th now. He can kill the 4th now. There's not enough to defend the Marines. The Vipers can't do anything. What can he do? Blinding Cloud the Marines and then push through it? There's no way. He's trying to corrosive bile the tanks. But the tank is way too high on hit points. He finally gets rid of it. The Viper's pulling back. There's Lings coming in, but Serral has to tap out. He does not have the numbers. Clem just distracts him with a drop and gets way too close to the base with the siege. And remember what I said. It's good to take this bottom base if you're doing an all-in, it's safe, but if you're playing macro, it is exposed and hard to defend those southern bases, and that's why Clem was able to get on top of that. Serral had taken the northern bases, defends that push much easier, but the early game would be so much harder against the Hellions. Guess what? There was only 2 Hellions. So this was actually a really good choice of build orders for Clem, took advantage of what Serral did in the early game, and maybe even predicted it. I actually have to give Clem credit there for picking that 2-1-1 follow-up. I think that was perfect against the way Serral was playing that game. He read it really well. All right, guys. It's time to praise Shai Hulud. We're going on to Sandworm. Serral's hair looks kind of cool. You can tell he's done an angry hair tussle. A stressed-out hair tussle. I think he played a really good game there. But it's so hard to keep up with the boosted medevacs. So hard to keep up with those. It's, yeah. It's kind of wild, boosted medevacs, aren't they? A boosted medevacs, guys, the warp gate of Terran. Is it one of those things where if we remove boosted medevacs, like Terran just literally like loses everything always and is the worst faction ever? Like how much heavy lifting are medevacs doing for Terran? Like if you remove the unit entirely, I have a feeling Terran would be a disaster. Especially for Clem. Gumio might be able to make it work without. All right, guys. Clem in the bottom left. Serral in top right. It's 2-2. What a fantastic tournament this has been. I love the guys, man. TKL, Coker, and Funker, as well as everyone else involved in the French scene. I'm sure there's people behind the scenes as well. Part of all the Comeback TV guys hosting this event. I mean, it's just the energy is wild. The guys in the audience doing football chants and cheering, and every losers interview, them cheering Hero and Rainer every time. Anytime anyone's lost a series, they've been so supportive. And they're just big fans of everyone here. I think they're really happy to have 4 of the most dominant players in the last few years, kind of like the main crew, right? SERRAL, CLEM, Hero, and Rainer, all live at an event in Paris, hosted off the back of just crowdfunding and a passionate community and a ton of volunteer work and organization from the Comeback TV guys. Comeback TV guys putting their hearts in. Yeah. $20,000 prize pool. Does anyone know what first place is? I actually have no idea. I'd guess like 6K, 8K maybe. I imagine they have a pretty decent spread. I think most of us small-time organizers try not to just plonk it all on first place. Like, they used to do, like, sometimes 60% of the prize pool to first place, 50%. I always think that's a little bit ridiculous, you know? There's a lot of guys that put a lot of time in to play the tournament. And, you know, got to spread it out a little bit. Apparently, it's 6,600 guys, which is a pretty good first place. Pig, what's the best spread you've ever seen? Gonna take that one seriously. Gonna choose to do that. And I'm not sure, guys, what was the biggest spread? I mean, there's been... I remember when Katowice had a big open bracket, they started to do a pretty damn nice spread on that tournament where it went way deeper than it used to go. In the old days, you had to get top 8 at a big international tournament just to get paid any money. And it would not be a lot. Usually like maybe 1,000 euros. 2 Hellions and a Reaper rotating around here. We've got an Evo Chamber and a Roach so I was going to try and play Roaches again, but Sandworms are tough. I kind of wish SERRAL picked Maganatha or Tokamak instead of Golden Wall, guys. That was such a big win for CLEM. I mean, obviously it was big that SERRAL won the previous map as well. So they've both won each other's maps in the last 2 games. That Queen, she tried to block that wall off, wasn't quite able to. If you go to a world championship, everybody gets paid. Often $5,000 or 10 or 15 just for getting to the event. Just qualifying for it is pretty nice, depending on which one we've had over the years. The worst spread was the... yeah, it wasn't the SOS Life winner, Just Johnson. It was SOS versus Hero, I think it was, at Katowice or something like that. It was SOS versus another Protoss player. They did a $100,000 winner-takes-all tournament, which was pretty brutal, so... yeah. Like, that was a ridiculous spread. All right, guys. Hellions coming in. Roach Queen hanging out. Lairs almost finished. Carapace does start. It's Hellion Banshee for CLEM. I think Hellion Banshee is much better for SERRAL when he plays Roach. I think if he plays Roach, he'd like to play Roach against Hellion Banshee. And I think he'd like to play the Ling Infesta style against the 2-on-1. If I had to guess, that's kind of the matchups which I think SERRAL would prefer. So we'll have to keep our eyes on how they, you know, because often you're committing to these build orders before you know for sure what your opponent's doing. So, Overseer's almost there. Queens, okay. Oh, good damage on the Banshees. Nicely done. 6 more drones on the way. Dude, SERRAL's going 80 drones. He don't even have a 4th base yet. Infestation goes down. Second Evo needs that 4th base. I mean, at least he can oversaturate now. That's the advantage of this. And he can start clearing those rocks once the Hellions are pushed back. Oh, here we go. Hellions poking in, getting themselves a drone. Hellion Reaper dancing backwards. A few more Marines coming in. 1-1 upgrades. Stim halfway done. It's a pretty late stim, but of course, when you go Hellion Banshee, it takes a while before you're going to be on the other side of the map anyway. It delays your upgrades a little bit as well. He's got to free up units to break these rocks or the gold base won't be much use, but he's also got to defend the Hellions. Hive's already starting at 6.5 minutes. My God. Good luck getting a siege tank 8 racks across this map before the Hive's ready. It's interesting to see CLEM playing so much 8 racks, guys. I think with the 3 supply ghost change, not sure what else, but that one especially, I think he's not got as much faith in playing late game anymore against Zerg, but he knows the 8 racks is so good in general and on a lot of these maps. So it's cool to see CLEM adapt to the meta and play what pretty much every other Terran has had to rely on for a long time. He's been the one guy who didn't need to rely on this strategy. But even he's going to have to now. Of course, SERRAL had a really high work count before. It's gone down a bit because every building you build does lower that. I don't think multi-drops will be as big of a problem on this map. I think he's got spores in his main. I think that might be 3 spore crawlers ringing the main for SERRAL, which will just close down that drop angle. Ravage is morphing, which will be good for dealing with the tanks. He's got fungal for dealing with the marines, but he's got to not waste the fungals. I think Clem's gotten really good at baiting the fungals and then just picking up, like dodging him, and that's a really big problem for Zergs. So you've got so few of them early on. You don't want to waste them. Ideally, you use it when he's not looking. You sneak up on him, drop the fungal, jump on top with your units, throw another fungal so he can't pick up, and then it's 2 fungal for like 14 to 16 marines. That's a really good trade. It's just hard to pull that off, especially on a cramped map like this. Oh, Banshees go down! One of them does go down. Display bug on that. Oh, he runs in and cancels the 4th command, and a great play for SERRAL, who does know that the big push is coming. He's got an Ultra Cavern on the way as well. These rocks are going to get taken down. I think as soon as those rocks are down, SERRAL's going to jump him. SERRAL's like waiting. He's like, take the rocks down and go. SERRAL goes for it. Whoa, Clem's right there. He does see the army. He stabs, he spreads, he tries to siege. Big fungal does land, but he's got to pull back. Biles, don't think the Biles landed on anything. Maybe 1 siege tank. Ultra Cavern is finished. Adrenal's on the way. 2-2 as well. I wouldn't mind SERRAL sending his Lings around for a counter. I think you've got his respect. He's got to veer forward. He's got to force Clem back. Combat shields. Guys, combat shields just started. Where is combat shields? It just started. I was looking at those Marines. I was like, this doesn't look right. I don't know why those Marines look wrong. They took a lot of their hit points off. Massling counterattack. Command Center is probably the best target here. Of course, the medevac saves the siege tank. Command Center, 3/4 of the way finished, gets cancelled. Brilliant play for SERRAL. Puts Clem's economic progression back to, not the Stone Age. Maybe he is in the Bronze Age. Infestor, Ravager, Roach trying to hang out on the front line. Can't quite get in range for the fungals, and that's a big problem. He's got to throw the fungals, otherwise he loses an Infestor. He's got 2 fungals left, but only 2 here, and that is an abundance of Marines. Oh, he does land a good fungal. Another amazing fungal! Holy moly, but the Biles are used before he gets in range of the tanks. Was that an overextension? I don't know. Chitinous plating and 3 Ultras are almost here. If SERRAL can hang on to this base, that'll be good. The wings from behind, repairing SCVs, not going to cut it. SERRAL's going to take out the tanks. Holy fungal, guys. And guess what? Combat shields just kicked in. That would have been nice before those fungals landed. Oh, man. Clem finding about the great history of his nation. He's finding out about Verdun. He's finding out about 1914 to 1918 and what happens when you're in a friggin' wet trench for years at a time and how bad the trench foot feels, because those Marines just had vicious amputations, man. The Marines getting hit by fungal there again. I think SERRAL holds on against this 8 ranks. Clem's doing it like an all-in, but SERRAL with the fungal Ravager manages to hang on. And I think he should be able to push this back. More Ling counters. The Ling counters have been excellent. Beautiful play for SERRAL. Clem down, 40 supply, trying to start to step his way out of this, but another fungal lands. It's trench foot for days. There is all sorts of fungal rot going on. And turns out, guys, when your feet are wet for months at a time, it does create the perfect substrate for fungal growth. All right, guys, SERRAL in the top left, Clem in the bottom right side of the map. 2 racks Reaper. No 3rd barracks? Clem, what are you, a coward, mate? No 3rd barracks? It's all right. He's going to apply the pressure, guys. We are getting to the pointy end of the series. Maganath for game 6. If Clem wins, Tokamak game 7 to decide it. I think both are pretty balanced maps. I do think Maganath was probably a little bit better for SERRAL than Toka. I think Tokamak has some nasty tank push positions on the sides. But Clem isn't really like a tank multi-prong pusher, is he? Like, yeah, he did an 8 racks tank push, but he's not really a multi-prong tank guy as much. Do you think players go home and take a break from computer, or do they go right back into the ladder? Well, I've seen Beyond at, I guess, Dallas 2024. And I was, like, leaving, and, like, everyone's left the venue. And I'd been there a bit longer because we were, like, finishing and having a meeting or whatever. And I go out past the player area, and Beyond's just sitting there searching ladder. And I'm like, mate, you know everyone good on the NA server is like going to have dinner or like going to a bar or like to go rest in their hotel, right? Like he's just sitting there with his searching screen waiting until like a diamond player queues into him, and I'm like, Beyond, I don't know if this is helpful, but I think for Beyond, grinding ladder is just like the only thing that calms him. It's like his meditation. I think it's his happy place. But I don't think anyone plays quite as much as Beyond. Clem will definitely just play 1,000 games. The cool thing about Clem is he'll play 10 hours of StarCraft and then he'll just go play some Counter-Strike, he'll play some whatever other RTS is coming out, and he'll be really good at all of them. And he'll be very chilled while doing it. Clem's like a proper gamer. He can play just about any game very well. Very quick learner as well, very instinctive. Like, I remember thinking, dude, you need to take more breaks. It used to be the thing where I was like, you gotta take breaks, you play too many tournaments, you play too many hours, you need to not be playing so many other games in your off time, you need to like go exercise or whatever. And we've interviewed him and he's just like, yeah, I go for a walk. Sometimes I go to the gym and just, you know, nothing too serious, just kind of do a few random machines, go on the treadmill, whatever. But he just plays a ton of other games, and I don't know, it seems to work for him. Like, there are people where I think they're very angry gamers, or like stressed or whatever, or hunched over their keyboard. I don't know. I think he's such a gamer from such a young age that Clem is quite... he plays pretty optimally even while grinding, and playing other games in his off time as well. I don't think it feels like work for him. I think he just likes playing, and he's like, oh, I'll play a tournament, that's fun. Oh, I'll play another tournament, that's fun. You know, Clem is like the only time we've ever had a world champion who would like rock up to a $50 online tournament because he's like, oh, that looks like fun. Alright, the 3 Reaper Hellion pressure can be really annoying because those Reapers can regenerate hit points in a way Hellions can't, and he's got the grenades for the reposition. Serral splits the Lings to make sure they're not easily targeted. Carapace is on the way. Sporecrawler's going down to deal with the Liberator. He already knows it's a Liberator because there's no add-on on the Starport. Great play there for Serral. I think his Overlord did get sniped by the Marines, though. You know, I think if Serral can win this game, it's actually shockingly easy as a series for him. Don't get me wrong, the earlier games were frighteningly hard, but it feels like that last game snowballed his way really quickly and actually ended. And like, if this one could be similar, it's the best case scenario for him to get to the final best of 3 without exhausting himself. And that gives him a realistic chance of actually making the comeback from the lower bracket, which seemed like such an impossible feat at the start of this event. But dude, that is crazy. 9 SCVs for a Ling run by? 10? I mean, that is damage, ladies and gentlemen. Liberator comes in, does get 3 drones and a lava, though. That's not bad. Oh, where are the queens? Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, decent Ling spready. But 5 drones. Oh, not the best handling for Serral on the counter. I mean, I think he can still afford to take a fair bit more damage here. But, dude, where are the queens? Whoa, Serral, he's taking damage, man. He's taking damage, man. All right, 7 drones do go down. And mining time. That was a really good Liberator, but Serral's being greedy behind it. Problem is his 4th base hasn't started. Problem for Clem, he's on 41 workers at 6 minutes 20. Oh no, that's real bad. Clem's income is so much lower. He needs more damage. He's finding some more. Oh, Marines get a good angle. They will take out a bunch of Marines. The Lings do on that 3rd base. Don't get rid of the SCVs though. Serral needs to stabilize. I think he's leaving too many openings right now. Other players might like let up a little bit when you do this damage to them, and they'll be focused on their economy. Whenever you punch Clem, he is a fighter's fighter. He is a StarCraft player. You harass him, he'll harass you back twice as much. Sometimes he impales himself. He throws games just like counterattacking when it makes no sense to. But other times he just keeps the momentum so high, and this is the skill tester that I talk about, where you can't afford to leave any holes. Any openings will be absolutely brutal if Clem finds them. In Australia, we call these Terran players the any hole's a goal style of StarCraft player. Couple of SCVs. At least one will get picked off. Gets himself a depot. Nice cancel at the last second there for the SCV. Queen Zergler on the left side trying to defend. Can he focus the Medivacs? Good D. Very good D. Serral's work account's not that impressive anymore. The Lings do come back in time. Dude, if he could just get rid of this Hellion Reaper, it's giving Clem too much ability to be annoying, and this is why Serral, he commits a bit more this time. Gets rid of a Hellion or two, one or two Reapers. Looks like he's just going to A-move after that as well now. Oh, Queen's in jeopardy. But so are the Marines! Welcome to Fungal Town, son. Oh, no, he lost an Infestor, though. You can't step too close to Clem, mate. Oh, the Medevac gets away with, like, 1 hit point. Was that 1? It's 1. It's 1 hit point Medevac with 5 Marines escaped. Still a good trade for Serral that he caught a bunch, but he did lose an Infestor. That's rough, mate. 1-2 upgrades almost there for Serral, though. He's wildly ahead on the upgrades, and his Hive's almost there. Clem's saying, well, that's fine. I've made the game messy, though. Let's not give him room to get to the next step, because he knows that all the Fungals just got used. And if there was, like, even... Oh, the Ling run by... That's excellent. It's a handful of Lings. It costs you almost nothing to do that, but that pulls the army home for a moment. That actually bought you valuable seconds. Ultra Cavern's on the way. 3 more Infestors are building. And can Serral land a Fungal and get us around? Maybe, maybe not. He's supply blocked on 142. He's going to give up his 4th base and rotate north. That is exactly what he needed to do here because he goes for a big Ling run by. Happy to give up his 4th as long as he can do some good damage on this 3rd. But that is a lot of Marines. 1-2 upgrades, though. Pretty damn nice. Oh, hold position there with some of those Lings to distract that mine shot. Well played by Serral. Unfortunately, no economic damage, though. And no economic damage is not good for him. Oh, he's going to run down here. He's going to run down for the engage. The Widow Mine, though. This is bad for Serral, I think. Is it? Oh, I don't know, man. This is real weird. Weird situation right now. Not the efficiency we're used to with these Infestors. I don't think he needed to chase there. He just threw away a lot of units. Serral trying to force it, getting a bit disorganized. And I think he had such a good start with that Ling run by. The mistakes are piling in. Remember, these guys have been playing. It's a long day, guys. We've been casting for 9 hours. They've been at the venue probably for 9-10 hours themselves. It's a very stressful, long tournament. They've already played multiple series against the best players in the world. This does not come easy. Great Fungals coming in to surround some of those Marines. Are there enough Lings to really finish it off, though? And it looks like the answer is no. And that means Clem should be able to finish this game off. Oh, yeah, that Fungal's going to do nothing. He's got to give this base up. I mean, these Fungals are great, but the Medevacs can out-heal it. And that's a real problem. It's Serral saying, I need to defend the base. Clem gets the snipe, though. Serral, great spreadies on his units. Back to 3 bases, though. Unless he's got ultras that are popping right now, I don't know how he can hang in here. The upgrade's now going to catch up. 2-2 kicking in for Clem. 1 Medevac does go down. The Queens do defend very nicely in the bottom left side. He's got so many Queens, doesn't he? But, interesting. I mean, the way Clem has defended has been excellent. I do wonder if Serral, with his big Ling run by, should have ran into the natural to surround the rally of units rather than the 3rd mineral line. That might have changed things. Oh, Infestors go in. There's a lot of Widow Mines, though. It's just so difficult to deal with this amount of Marine Mine. Marine Mine's so good against the Zergling army and such a big army count. Clem is going to force that Game 7. Ladies and gentlemen, Serral off an excellent early run by. And Clem says, I've got Hellions here. I got Liberator. Here's a Liberator. Liberator's here. Now it's here. Now it's here. And Clem... He caught Serral sleeping. Serral should have split a queen off. Even just 1 queen should have been tracking that Liberator. Not having a queen on that Liberator was a big mistake. And that cost him huge because he took a lot of distraction and damage there. His 4th got slowed down a lot. The Hellions kept darting in and out on his 3rd, picking off drones. And that damage stacked up to put it in a position where Clem was then able to just get enough momentum to run away with that game. All right, guys, Game 7. This could decide the entire tournament. Goat Clem in the background. Serral. Dude, the endurance needed for these guys just mentally to keep playing as clean as they are. Yes, mistakes are slipping in, but it is a very long day, especially for Serral. His 3rd best of 7 today. Clement's only his 2nd. Remember, Serral started with a crazy 7-game series against Tiro. Real tight one. Intense CVZ to follow, and now the most intense series of them all, playing against the highest skill level Terran we've ever seen. People get hung up. Oh, Clem's the GOAT, isn't he? He's not the GOAT, guys. Doesn't matter, though, because you can absolutely say amazing things about Clem. Highest skill level player we've ever seen. Fastest player we've ever seen. Best micro and multitasking we've ever seen. Might not be the greatest of all time yet, but this is some pretty impressive titles nonetheless. Oh, they definitely hear the chants and the audience noise, guys. I mentioned earlier, you know, Rainer was saying, he's like, damn, man, I need to crank my music up really loud because I lost a drone to a Reaper, and I heard everyone just be like, whoa! And I was like, damn, this is tilting me. Like, I'm going to crank my music up to zone it out a little bit. Obviously, the crowd being very favored. Oh, he even blocks there. Yeah. Well done. Lings are moving across the map, but a little bit late, I think, on doing so to really find any early value. At low level, if people do that with their Reaper guys, just click your first 4 Lings directly across the map to their natural, and then just keep macroing. That way you save your drone, and you put a lot of pressure on them. They often don't see the Lings coming, and they just click in and do fantastic damage. Of course, against CLEM, you got to be a bit more technical than that. You can't just click them across the map. But low level, mid level, even at my level, often I can just click those Lings across the map to pretty decent results. All right, guys, we got a few Hellions coming out. Starport's almost there. Looks like a Cloak Banshee 3cc for CLEM. SERRAL, Hatch Gas Pool. He's just put workers back on gas here at about 3.5 minutes. Very standard for both sides. Tokamak. Does this map favor CLEM, doesn't it? I don't know, man. I think this map's not bad for Turtle late game. It's got a few decent push paths, but I think it's got plenty of wide open areas, plenty of counterattack paths. I'd say it's hard to counter into the 4-base terrain. It's not as wide open into the 4-base. That's true. I'd say it's fine, though. The fact that it's come to the final game tells you it's the most balanced. Neither player picked this until there was no other option. So that means, like, no one wanted to veto it, number one, which obviously are the most extreme maps, and then the earlier in the series are the better maps for each side. And you get to the final map in a best of 7, it's the most neutral map, at least according to those players' opinions. 2 SCVs just went down. Great little Ling run by 1 Zergling for 2 SCVs. Makes up for that early drone snipe. Well played. Lairs on the way, 6 more Lings, 2 Overlords and a Queen. 2 more barracks building. All right. Very straight up, other than that quick lair, which I'm still wondering about. SERRAL wouldn't go Mutalisks in Game 7, would he, guys? He's got 2 more gases coming down. He could just drop a Baneling Nest in a moment and play a very standard old Baneling style. Oh, here come the Hellions, though. Okay, Queens are split nicely. Banshee in the backside. Oh, nowhere to hide for that Banshee. Oh, Cloak comes in at the last second. And it's going to allow him to get a Queen. Very nice. The Frenchies are happy with it there in the audience. 200 gas is ready. I think we're going to see a Spire go down. SERRAL thought it was Libs, which is why that Spore was misplaced. It's got to be a Spire. It's 2 more gases. Guys, what's SERRAL doing? He's got gas. He's droning. I guess he figures economy first and foremost. Oh, hatchery goes down. That's not going to last long unless he can get there to defend it. 40 hit points. 10. Cancels and rebuilds. The Lings could have... I think he could have fought, maybe, with the Lings, with the wraparound. I'm not sure. Queen's getting engaged off creep, though. Lings have to engage. Hellion does take out the Queen. Good wraparound with the Lings, though. I think that's a good angle for them. Oh, the Queen's going to go down to the Banshee. Oh, no! That's huge! Okay, he takes out those. Can he get rid of the hatchery, though? Extra Queens will be here pretty quickly. But if CLEM gets the hatchery, that might be worth it. He just took out a lot of units. He's already killed a lot of drones. SERRAL is going 1-1 Hydras. Oh, he's going Hydra Den. He's going 1-1 Hydras, guys. It's the Hydra Infestor build. 1 Banshee goes down. The other one gets damaged. He saves the hatchery. Big save, but it's damaged for the future, which could be a problem. Not only that, CLEM's building tanks. Remember, there are ledges either up in the top left or the bottom right, either below on the ledge below the 3rd or the 4th, that are impressive, like really, really good. So I think that's the position CLEM's going to look to leverage. Tanks on those ledges. The thing is, Hydras should be able to deal with that. I think Hydra Infestor is an excellent style for this map. He remembers combat shields. They're cheering for him remembering combat shields. the exhausted, drunk French crowd of passionate StarCraft nerds. They've been there for 10 hours. CLEM didn't forget combat shields. They zoom in on it, and they are very pleased. Oh my god. Marines coming in. Queen Hydra should defend this. Overseer gets focused. That was a good target. Three infestors building. If you get, fungal with biomines, so good. And yet Clem, I mean, he sees the hydras and he's still building widow mines. I say that. He might have chosen to swap it. Don't see any more widow mines building now. Marine's going to try to pull back. Good evac. 78 worker, 4 base Zerg. Hydra Ling, now infestors joining the fray. Marines are going to stim towards him. Oh, does he have the infestors there? He doesn't. He doesn't have the infestors. Run, SERRAL, you need fungal. You need fungal, bro. 1-1's not quite there. But the fungal! Clem takes the bait. He eats the Omega fungal. Oh! But did he already kill enough Ling Hydra to make it worth it? I don't think so. I think the Hydras can kill the tanks now. Dude, SERRAL comes in from both sides. He says, taste my fungal sandwich. By the way, I'm sure the guys in the comments have already said it. Twitch chat, I asked them. Apparently gangrene's bacterial. It's not fungus. Is trenchfoot gangrene? Is none of that fungus? Is that all bacterial? Damn it. If so, you guys let me know. It is what it is. Clem's getting fungal growth, though. He's got some nasties on him, all right? Hydraling. No more fungals available for a bit, but Hydras can fight pretty well. The Marines want to engage and then stutter step away from the Zerglings, and stutter step engage basically only the Lings, not the Hydras. And he's doing a very good job of it. His micro is insane. The moment there's even one fungal ready, he gets punished so hard here. But Clem just trusts that he's quick enough to dodge when that fungal does become available. One medevac with 2 Marines went down. Clem may have slightly overextended there, but he'd already traded really well against the Lings. So I think net positive for him as he gets his 4th command center up and 3 more tech labs to go triple Marauder. Gangrene can be fungal, but less often than bacterial. Yes! Yes! My dumb analogy worked! Okay, Lurkers are on the way. Lurkers are going to be really good against this army. Don't think he needs them yet, though. Fungal's available. Clem's just going to attack into it and just focus the infestors. Oh my gosh. He's so pig-headed. Because the thing is, SERRAL doesn't want to throw the fungal because he figures Clem will dodge it. Clem runs in and just clicks on the lurker and loses his whole army for it. Clem! This is what I'm talking about, guys. 50% of Clem's strategy is attacking in situations that is so obnoxiously ridiculous and shows so little respect for the opponent that if the opponent actually doesn't run away, sometimes he just throws his army away. And that's what just happened. That was a big mistake for Clem. Big piece of over-aggression. It's dancing on that line is so sensitive, right? Because when he's on his A game, he dances the line so well. But when he's just slightly losing momentum or he's a little bit off, bam, suddenly he oversteps in and you can see the costs of it. Now there's no fungal left. This is a big problem for the Hydras if there weren't so many of them. There's plenty of Hydras and Lurkers, so I don't think it really matters. Medevac goes down as well. The Hydra's happy to just swing. It's 2-2 bio. Only 1-1 Hydra. Oh, that's a bad fight for SERRAL. He overcommitted there. Now his 2-2's done. He's a bit more happy to engage head-to-head, but he's got to be careful just because the numbers are a little bit tough for him. If he could spread Lurkers, that's the way to beat Clem right now. If he gets 1 Lurker in each of his bases, a few Lurkers spread across the maps, I don't think Clem has enough scans to deal with that. But, of course, SERRAL, he's very busy stuck on the defense because the way Clem's been playing, Lunge is almost ready. A bunch of Marauders get picked off. Clem in a really hard spot. 5th command center is building. 3-3 upgrades are on the way for him. He's building Ghosts and Marauders. Not sure if he made concussive shells or not this game. Medevac does get sniped. He's hoping that SERRAL tries to shove the ramp and he can stim on him and catch the army when he's unsieged. Oh, unburrowed, I should say. Lurker's going to try to run away. Concussive is definitely there as we see him tag one of those Lurkers. Ling Hydra. Oh! Massive Ling Hydra move. Gets the fungal on a bunch of the bayou as well. Lurkers are going to shove it. SERRAL wants to push this ramp. He's going to do it. Ghosts are there now as well, though. Those Ghosts getting some really good snipes off. SERRAL wants that final best of 3. He wants to push through Clem and activate the final best of 3, fighting from the lower bracket, but going for Hydras here in Game 7. This is such a good map for it. We've seen him and Raynor both play Hydras on this map. It's the Scarlet build from several years ago that she absolutely excelled with and showed that, hey, this is a really good alternate style, especially if you know your opponent wants to play Widow Mines. Hydra, Ling, Infesta, get straight up to Hive and Lurkers, and dude, SERRAL just does it with style. Widow Mine's not what you want against this style. I don't know why Clem's still building them, other than out of habit. I do think you meant to play siege tanks against this style. You guys let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe the Lings are too good at tanking the siege tank damage, so he wants something to deal with the tanks. Deal with the Lings, sorry. But, of course, Widow Mines are only good against the Lings if they can land the hits. And that is a bit of a skill issue when you've got SERRAL dodging and spreading those Lings so very well. Snipe starting to land on a few of these Lurkers. Of course, a few of the Lurker Spines are landing, intercepting. And the Fungal, very nicely done. Hydras can move in and take out a few of these Ghosts. Depot's starting to fall. SERRAL's got a pretty nice contain on at this point. I'd love to see one Lurker in behind that 4th base of Clem, which I guess is now his 3rd. But of course, we can see that SERRAL has a 5th base and now 6th base up. He's spreading Lurkers across. How do you ever get out of here as Clem? I think the answer is you don't. I think you've got to brace for that final best of 3. That cushion that you built up from having such an excellent tournament run so far, is that going to be enough to finish off this series? Here we go. Oh, pull back, Infestors. Pull back. Snipe. One of the Infestors does go down. Hydras are going to go to that right side. Is he just going to kill the Planetary finally? It looks like he will. He's got the Lurker contain. The Medevacs try to pick up to think about transferring down here. He's going to try and drop to reinforce the Planetary. Clem unable to keep it up, though. That's going to be a really cool engage here for SERRAL. The Infestor's coming in from behind. I don't think he quite has Fungal energy, but it doesn't matter. The Hydras push on top. SERRAL there. He knows the job is not done, but he has done the first and hardest part of it. He has defeated Clem in a best of 7, 4 wins to 3, and that activates Clem's last life. Clem's first life is used up. It's now a final best of 3 to decide the entire tournament. That effectively knocks Clem to the lower bracket, and now they are fighting on even footing. SERRAL has a mountain to climb, but he's already 3/4 of the way up. Just 2 more games. All right, guys, the crowd is cheering for Clem as we enter the final best of 3 to decide the entire tournament. It's going to start on Golden Wall, a map which SERRAL picked earlier. He had some confidence in it. Let's see where this goes. As Clem moves out with an early SCV scout, SERRAL is opening gasless again. I do wonder, does he try to sneak a Ravager over to deny mining on that gold base this time? Because that was one thing that was missing last time, combined with Clem just distracting him a bit too much with the double drop and then hitting that crazy tank marine push on the 4th. Thank you very much for the subs, guys. Appreciate it. It's been a long day. This final best of 3 to decide the entire tournament. Clem looks a bit frustrated. SERRAL kind of always looks a bit frustrated when he's playing, but he has that Finnish ability to endure. I think once you've been through enough Finnish winters, you just basically like build up character, you know? There's just this ability to like understand that like life is hard and nothing comes easily, and like people probably shouldn't live where your entire culture has decided to like permanently live. And you guys have like 2 months of the year, maybe 3, where it's really nice. And then the rest of the year, it's a frozen hellscape. But you all somehow make it great with like saunas and friggin' hard work and all that sort of stuff. Eating reindeer, because why the heck not? The problem for SERRAL is even though he has all that stoic, friggin' hard work mentality, he's facing a guy who's a few years younger than him, and regularly stays up all night drinking and playing video games and chilling out. And I don't normally think of, oh yeah, we're going to beat Clem by wearing him out. Like, yeah, did he make a few more mistakes as he gets tired? Yes, but this is the guy who stays up till 5 a.m., 6 a.m. regularly to play the North American time zone tournaments. He plays my tournament when I'm back home in Australia. Him, and I'm like, whoa, SERRAL you want SERRAL to play a show match at like 9 p.m.? He's like, that's too late. Get out of here, man. I got to sleep. I got to walk my dog in the morning. Clem's like, can you make it like 4 a.m. for the show match? 5 a.m. is a little late for me, like it's just. That being said, I don't think SERRAL was out drinking last night. Or partying, I should say. I don't know how heavily he was drinking. Maybe he was just out dancing, having a bit of a time. I'm going to imagine a fair bit of alcohol was involved, though. Had to have a nap this afternoon before his series with Raynor. Did help him out there, but did it help out enough? He's Going to try and hit this Evo chamber that's building. I don't think SERRAL... I mean, SERRAL can always cancel that and rebuild it. Not sure if he wants to keep this full walled. And I think he just did so. Yeah. Okay, Hellion Reaper rotating around. Apparently Finland's not that cold anymore unless you're up north. Fair call. I've only been to Helsinki in the summer and I got sunburnt there, so I really have no first-hand experience. Hellion Reaper is going to pull back. I fell asleep on a park bench. I was very jet-lagged, all right? It's embarrassing that an Australian got sunburnt in Finland. It's not something that happens very often, all right? But what can I say? I'm a man of creating records and experiences that other people just can't handle. Hellion's going to take a fair bit of damage from those queens. Lairs halfway done. I mean, this looks like... I imagine double Evo doesn't go down until a bit... Okay, yeah. First Evo starts. Another second Evo chamber in the back. He does re-wall the front, so those Hellions have no chance of getting in. Lots of Marines building. Stim on the way. We should see those 1-1 upgrades. Surely they should be starting soon. It doesn't quite have the gas. Clem's fourth gas has just finished. And there we go. +1 attack starts, +1 armor as well. Clem's really good at not forgetting those upgrades these days. Oh, Queen's move south. Pull back, pull back. Okay, good pullback on the weak Queen. Transfuses going down. Banshees get pushed away. SERRAL with a tight opening so far. Clem's going to dive. Oh, of course he is. No ling speed. The drones need to fight, I think. Oh, no. Dude, did he just get one? He only got one drone. Ooh, SERRAL with a good start. Clem does not look too happy. Okay, Clem, I don't think that loses you the game. But oh, the Dark Ravager is there. The Dark Ravager guys ran in corrosive piled 2 SCVs. The Dark Ravager is a Ravager that refuses to go home. These roaches might just run away, and that single Ravager will just keep running in corrosive piling SCVs. Nidusworm. Nidusworm, SERRAL's going all in. He does not want to let this game drag on. And I mean, you should be ready for this to a certain extent as Clem, but that gold base is going to be pretty much indefensible, I think. If the Nidus gets up in the main, though, oof, that's where things get really hard. Is Clem going to attack? He starts combat shields. He's got 1-1. Oh my gosh, he's going to attack. Is he? No, he starts a 4th command and he's just lifting the tanks to the outside. That means his main base, though, vulnerable. Mass Roach Ravager. 1-1. Now, you might be wondering why build Ling speed if you're going for a Roach Ravager all in. He wants to mix some Lings in to absorb tank shots. Rallying some Lings in can be very effective. 2 more drones do come in for SERRAL, but I still think he's going to be trying to go for a super aggro build. Overseer's there. Nidusworm goes up in the back corner. There is a push on the front, but I think SERRAL's happy to give up mining time as long as he can get this going. This is massive. The Nidus is spotted a bit too late. The tank is trying to get on top. I think he should have sieged that tank further back. Now, look at that 4th command center goes down. Roaches are going to pop out. A new Nidusworm's going to come out here as well. He's going to go after the siege tank. Every siege tank is so crucial. That one goes down very quickly. Roaches are in the natural and the main base. These units are somewhat expendable for SERRAL, especially if he can trade them out for SCVs. It opens up a really good chance to transition into a different army. Ravagers coming out. Biles could be massive. Biles spread across the front line. Great Biles all over. Hitting 2 Marines with them. More Roaches coming out. More Ravagers as well. There's a tank sieging up there in the mineral line just off screen. We will see it firing these units in a moment, I believe. There we go. First tank shot comes down. Transfuser's trying to come down. SERRAL has to evacuate, though. Kills 17 workers. Does some good damage. New Nidusworm pops up and immediately does get chopped down. I'd love to see SERRAL transition from here. I think he can run around, keeping Clem on his toes. I don't know if he can kill Clem. Look at the army supply. It's almost identical between the 2 players, and with the 8 barracks, Clem can build a huge force. The big problem is we haven't denied mining on the gold yet as SERRAL, and that is costing him. Queens are out, still no transfusers on, creep tumors on this front side, which is one of the most important things for him to be doing, is spreading creep out of these Nidusworms. And the Roach Ravager, there's fresh mules right there. But SERRAL's kind of dilly-dallying, man. Okay, he's on the gold mineral line now. That army's rotating, though. Ooh, okay. Clem's army is very frightening. SERRAL's going to get a triple bile on the tank. Great move. And he can defend the high ground. Oh, the Queens. The Queens get rid of one of the Banshees. Huge move. Huge move. Otherwise, there's no mobile anti. That gold base is getting denied. Clem shoves left and runs right with his tanks. Genius move, because he can save the Marines, but he can't move those tanks around. That is a genius move. He gets hat-trick, and there's no way to deal with it. The golden wall is such a problem because there's so little anti-air for SERRAL. He's got to bring these roaches back. There's so many Marines. He doesn't have enough roaches. The Marines might just win this game. They push through. They break the left flank. He picks up. He breaks the guard of SERRAL. He's going to try and redrop over there. And he says, oh, your queen, that's one of the few units that shoots up. Focus that bad boy down and we can be annoying. The roaches are getting on top. There's still another queen up there as well. SERRAL needs to rebuild queens. It doesn't feel like it should be a high priority, but it is right now. I also think SERRAL needs to abandon that gold base and expand to the top left side of the map because he's got to reset to a longer game or Clem is going to resurrect himself. Clem was looking like he was in a bad spot, but I think right now he has a real shot at getting back into this because his medevac marine micro is otherworldly. And SERRAL is tired, and Clem can do this all day. He can do this all night. He can do it in his sleep. Oh, we got Biles coming down. Does land a bit on the Marines and the medevacs, but dude, what a crazy push here. You'd wish you had an Infestor or something. He just doesn't right now. Biles spreading across the front. There's a tank staged up. Roaches will push those guys back. I'd love to see those roaches swing around the north side and counterattack. This gold base is going to get toasted. I think SERRAL's got to give it up. He's got a big army, but he can't be just bleeding units out here. Oh, and he is indeed doing just that. That Banshee will die to the Queen if it continues forward, which I think it's going to. Queen is running away, though, so the Banshee is there. New Nidus Worm goes up inside the main. These Marines just not going to stop chasing him, are they? They're not going to stop chasing him. SERRAL is trying to get something done, but it is just so difficult. New Nidus Worm in the main base. Clem at 165 supply. SERRAL at 190, but it's Roach Ravager supply. That is important, though. Roach Ravager on the gold, and the gold base is already running low on minerals anyway. A few of those patches running out. Bile lands on a few of those Marines in the choke point. The rest of the units evacuate. These... Oh! Big Roach snipes on the tankies. He gets 2 tanks. If he goes north and finds that 4th mineral line, that could be big, but he doesn't get back. I thought he evacuated this army, but SERRAL didn't. Clem cleans it up. Clem's economy not looking good, but his army is still scary. 2-2 is now done for the Zerg, though. SERRAL all over this. 65 drones. He's got a new 4th base up. He doesn't know about the 4th up north. That's the problem. This game's so scrappy. That 4th base up north is Clem's saving grace. It could keep him alive in this game because SERRAL thinks it's 4 base against 2. It's actually 4 base against 3. And his army, his big supply lead, it's Roach Ravager. Remember, guys, Roach Ravager is garbage supply. SERRAL has way more garbage than Clem has units. Clem's units are good. That's the problem for SERRAL long term, and not knowing about that 4th is a travesty. I don't even know if it's a planetary. I think it's just a regular command center. Oh, Hive started. 3 Infestors building. Good transition for SERRAL. I'd love to see a Spire. There's a lot of I think Corruptors counter medevac drops, which is going to be big, and Broodlords counter siege tanks super hard. So I would love to see Spire. I know it's weird to go Corruptors off of Ravager Roach, but he wants to get the tanks, but I don't know if SERRAL can fight there. He's got Roach Ravager countering through the middle, though. Really nice counter on that gold base. Does he have enough units at home to defend, though? Dude, the damage output of Terran units is so good here. The Roach Ravager is quite tanky, though. Very meaty army, Roach Ravager. The question is, can he ever defend what's coming here? Well, with good fungals, he might be able to. Infestors are there. Watch out, Clem! Oh, Clem dodges the first fungal with most of his Marines. And he does spread his units, sieges them. The drones need to get out of there. Those roaches go down. 10 more SCVs do fall. A fungal lands, but of course he just runs in and clicks on the Infestors. Clem shows about as much respect as I showed to your mum last night. Holy moly, he just shoves in and clicks on the Infestor again. He's so cocky. He's so cocky, but it's going to tilt SERRAL off the face of the earth, mate. He missed some biles. He got the back tank, but he didn't finish the front tank. It's still there. Landing shots. Another fungal lands, but he's just going to push right through. Zero respect. Oh my gosh. Clem, you absolute freak. How do you manage to push through these situations? Pushing through that much fungal Roach Ravager, absolute madness. But SERRAL is going to be tilted off the face of the earth. Oh, he didn't know about the 4th base up north. He didn't have the numbers there to stop it. And just those Infestors getting focused down, missing the first fungal. SERRAL did not expect. He was like, I have to give up this base. He didn't realize Clem was just going to grab his army and shove through the fungal Roach Ravager, because he realized that Zerg army does literally 0 damage. Roach Ravager Infestor needs perfect fights to get it just right. And he was outnumbered, was SERRAL. He was trying to transition to a heavier drone count into different units, into Hive Tech. He didn't have that, and he had a lot of units that just were roaches on the other side of the map, right? Getting cleaned up by the counters. Clem shoving through with well-upgraded bio, a few semi-spreads, and of course, clicking the infestors when he knew Serral wanted to retreat. He did somewhat spread his units, not a massive amount, and some of the times he did just eat the fungal on the chin, realizing just because you eat the fungal doesn't mean the units are going to die. You've got a ton of medevacs healing. You've got the ability to eat the first fungal. It's only when there's chain fungals and biles and ravages and all that stuff kind of combining their efforts, and that just wasn't able to get together there. All right, guys, Clem had to work hard for that one, but he finds the victory in the face of adversity. Handles the Nidus Worms really well. And praise Shai Halud. We're going on to Sandworm. A pretty damn good map for him. Is he the Lisan Algeb? He tries to plug in his headphone. He had to build his barracks and gas there before plugging that other earphone in, putting his noise-canceling headphones back on. All right, Clem definitely not optimizing his mineral mining if he's playing around with his headset. Serral doesn't really do that anyway. Viva Funka Coca TKL. Good signs in the background there. Players have been putting up. The fans, sorry, have been putting up. It's cool that the players are up there on the balcony in this bar. Fans all around, hundreds of people. It was a full house, sold out within a few hours of them announcing tickets a few months ago. Extra hatchery comes up. Extra command center is about to start as well. Often what they do in double elimination is you just play two series. But obviously being best of 7, they can't play 2 best of 7s. A lot of people confused in the chat. Maybe never watched a double elim tournament before. This used to be very standard back in the day. Not as standard these days because they kind of want that one score line to just tell the whole story. But it is what it is. Serral's going to go 2 drones once again. He's happy to lose one of these. Says you can't block them both, son. SCV on the other side will try with a Zergling on it. Should be able to deny that. Looks like Serral might not want to take that southern base. Now, he should have taken this from the inside so he can quickly get to the other extractor. Then he jukes back. Very well done. Third command center goes up on the high ground. Do we go starport or second barracks, Clem? Show me your strategy, sir. Starport. Hellion Banshee or Hellion Lib? I'd imagine Lib. I'd imagine Banshee. That is a bit more common. 12 Zerglings are there. Queens. Oh! Reaper deep in the red. 16 Lings on the way. It's a big flood, guys. I don't think Serral's going to wait for all 6 Hellions to be on his side of the map. I think he is just going to move across, and when the first 2 Hellions move out and arrive at his side of the map, he will click them in. Knowing that they will most likely face 2 enemy Hellions. Oh, the Hellions almost saw him. That would have been a disaster. Oh, here we go. Lings are in. It's a lot of SCVs on the low ground, guys. That is a lot of SCVs on the low ground. The Hellions can try to come back, but the Lings can surround them as well, man. These Hellions, oh, one of them gets surrounded very quickly. The other Reaper and the Hellion are going to get chased as well. Already a lot of mining time. I don't know if he got any SCVs, but they're very damaged, and that Hellion is going to have a hard road to getting home on this map. Serral's not going to make that easy. Lings are slightly faster than Hellions with speed. Of course he turns to get some more shots off. Oh, Clem. So good. So much trust in his speed. His reaction time. The moment you turn around from chasing him to running away, he immediately turns and shoots. If Serral didn't split his Zerglings, all those SCVs would have died. Well, they stack up, so your Lings actually can't all attack them at once. You can either hide them in the pocket or mineral walk them like he did, where your Zerglings really struggle to land hits on them. So Clem is very good at using that micro. You can see here he can put them all in the pocket, but actually only a few of them get in the pocket this time. This is going to be really nice for SERRAL. 6 SCVs go down. Good micro to minimize the damage from Clem, but nonetheless a fantastic start for SERRAL. Problem he had in previous games when this happened is he wasn't able to capitalize on it. You can see 3 Lings getting focused down, a 4th one goes down, but the Queens do take out a Hellion, and these Queens need to split up to make sure that they stay on multiple control groups. Right now, SERRAL's got all of his front Queens on one control group. That could backfire really bad, because he's got to be able to cover 2 different angles from the Hellion Banshee. There we go, now the Queens are back to split. Fantastic start for SERRAL yet again, but we've seen that fantastic starts do not assure victory. When you are playing Clem, one must have a good start and then play excellent StarCraft for another 10 to 15 minutes often to finish him off. Second Evo Chamber's on the way, lair halfway done. Lings are going to go for another counter, but the Banshees see it coming. See a lot of people asking about the score. If you guys look in between the 2 scoreboard numbers, I know it's in very small writing. This might be hard to see, but it always says that. This is a final best of 3 to decide it. If Clem wins this game, the entire tournament is over. And he's our first Maestros of the Game tournament. Tournament champion, sorry. He's not the tournament itself. He is the champion if he wins this game. SERRAL will need to win this game and the final map, which I don't know what that's on. Oh. I imagine Tokamak again. All right, Massling counter down the left side. Let's go. 1-1 upgrades on the way. 1-1 on the way for Clem. A bit further behind the Carapace. That Infestation Pit nice and early. Do we see the 7-minute Hive? 6:57 Hive. So slick. Even 6:56, I think. Macro Hatch is on the way. 4th base coming. Ling's waiting for a chance to do a run by. Now for Clem, he's gone into the 2nd Factory Armory. He's got the 5 barracks pumping. His first Marines going forward. They're going to join up with the Hellions, or maybe stay split up. Here comes a Ling counter, but there's a tank on the high ground. Tank on the high ground is there. But the Lings will take out the Marines. Of course, the medevac picks it up. Oh, he's so good with his micro. He just saves the siege tank. Clem! Dude. Clem's hands, his brain, his reaction speed. It's always there with those clutch saves, man. All right, Infestor. Infestor's available. Clem knows what he's up against. He knows it's Ling Infestor. That's really important. He has that info. He's going 4th Command Center. He's much more geared up for a macro game this time around. No more 8 barracks. Combat Shields has started. Ah, that's what they were cheering for. Combat Shields yet again. All right. Good defense with the Queens. Remember, sometimes it's worth double fungling the medevacs. I think players forget this sometimes, but if you've got 4 Queens shooting a medevac, you double fungal it, it will go down. I think it's sometimes worth clicking the Lings on the medevac when they pick up like that. Something that pros don't really use anymore, but it is nice to follow the medevacs to make it just a bit harder for the Terran to unload each time. Big push down south. Clem shoving. 1 tank. 4 Hellbats, 1 Marauder, and about 30 Marines. Combat Shields is almost there. 1-1 upgrades for both sides. Is Fungal and Zerglings going to be enough? If he lands a great Fungal, I think the answer is yes. That is a big if, though. Good Fungal. It's about 7 Marines, 2 Medevacs. Queen's defending pretty well. Oh, the Infestors take a big shot. Great transfuse, though. It's a lot of Queens. Good Fungal. The Lings need to go, man. He needs to go. Big Widow Mines on the Queens, but not really that big on the Zerglings, which is what really matters. And the Marines have to pick up. Not all of them can fit, but of course, he prompts SERRAL into F2 defending, and he runs in the top and snipes a hatchery. Huge play there for Clem, who is getting his own gold base up. Yes, he hasn't taken the time to clear the rocks yet, but there's no spores on this north side. SERRAL's in trouble with the multitasking. He's actually got enough Lings to clear this army pretty easily. But it's the way Clem says, I'm here. Just kidding. Now I'm over here. Just kidding. Now I'm over here. And he keeps doing it. The Massling Infestor with the Adrenal Glands. +2 melee. Almost finished. Chitinous Plating coming in as well as the first few Ultras. +3 Carapace. SERRAL on 69 workers being pretty darn efficient. There's Lings in the main. They should be able to deal with the drop from the medevacs. And indeed, they're able to. Mauling Infestor comes in from behind. These Marines all deep in the red. They do have to back away. Hatchery on the gold, very exposed here for SERRAL. I imagine Clem has now cleared the rocks. It looks like his gold is mining correctly. Widowmine's going to be firing. Oh, he targets the Infestor. Brilliant retarget there. Dude, the Infestors need to just fungal that Banshee. It's killing you. He finally fungals it, but not before it takes out an Infestor. Another great snipe there for Clem. SERRAL cannot afford these trades, and this map's too cramped. It's too small to be playing this style. He needs the Ultras out here yesterday. They are now popping, but once again, he's a bit too clumped, and the bottom right side gets jumped on. Clem with Medevac Marine multitasking that SERRAL just cannot keep up with. Clem, he's in the left, he's in the right, he's in the north, he's in the south. And most importantly, his bayonets are fixed and he's ready to fight. But guess what? Boys, take the bayonets off. Those are space cows. Run, run, run. He's got space cows. The Widow Mines are firing. The Marine Marauder pulls back through this terrible zone in the middle that Ultras absolutely hate. It is an Ultra kill zone. You cannot fight there with Ultras. One of them does go into the zone and gets wrecked. He turns around, lands a nice fungal. The Ultra's getting some decent damage, but they get focused down very quickly by these Marauders. Another Ultra does go down. The Lings take out some bio, but the Medevac healing, absolutely obscene. That fungal does not land. These Lings are going to run in. That tank on the high ground is still there. SERRAL's efficiency, much lower than we're used to seeing with his style, and that's a problem because he's on 70 workers against a 75 worker Terran. He's used up his first wave of Ultras. His Infestors are all gone. The energy bank's gone. Clem has taken far too many of the important resources of the Zerg away. And SERRAL, he's trying to rebuild them, but does he have that time? Here on the Sandworm, I don't know if he does. Clementhy Chalamet whispering his sweet words of influence upon the Sandworm, and it is, of course, doing his bidding. It recognizes the Terran Al-Gaib, and the Terran Al-Gaib right now is riding this Sandworm to victory, a $20,000 tournament, $6,600 for first place. It has been a grueling top 4 finals land here. The Widowmine does take out the Medevac, but SERRAL, he's down 15 supply, he needs more damage. That tank on the high ground has an ungodly number of kills. I hope the Observer shows us at some point because it is going to have got so many Lings. And the bio just in his face. No fungal. There's no energy on that one. The Infestor on the right does have energy. One Medevac does fall. You can see these Medevacs just disrespecting the Queens. And that's a really big problem. SERRAL needs to chase these Medevacs a bit more because the way Clem is just unloading half a screen away is something which is costing SERRAL a little bit too much. Here we go, fungal. Oh, great fungal. He lands another good one, but he loses every Infestor. Oh, even when he smashes Clem's army, he loses all of his Infestors, all of his tech units. This is the difference. This is why Clem is beating this Infestor style, is because he is focusing the Infestors down so consistently. It is such, you've got a slight range advantage with the fungal, but he wants to get deep to throw the good fungals, and Clem's so quick to just turn and fire on those Infestors. By not giving them respect and not playing defensive, but actually just being in his face and playing aggressive, you'd see now, suddenly, there's no Infestors here. Focuses down and Ultra picks up, boosts into the main base. Queen's finally going to deal with these Marauders, but you can see it's so hard to get on top of those. Spore Crawler takes out one Medevac. Ling's trying to get on top of the main, not able to do so. And I think SERRAL's just not got enough money. He's been on 66 workers this whole time. His Ultra Cavern goes down, and Clem can dance all day. He's got his FPS Doug shoes on. He's got his Counter-Strike knife that he opened out of a friggin' gambling box in his hand so he can run faster, and he's about to headshot all day. Ling Ultra hanging out. Queens are there. Ugh. Okay. Watch out, though. Widow Mines. Oh, the Widow Mines. There's only one Medevac. Big fungal in the north. Ultra's doing well. Infestor does burrow, which is nice. SERRAL refusing to go down right now. Clem is only on 63 workers. He loses 9 SCVs to a Ling run by. Anyone else would have crumbled under the pressure. The crowd is chanting. They are so excited for Clem right now, but they can see SERRAL refusing to die. The stalwart Finnish phenom, the greatest player of all time, refusing to die to what is probably the highest skilled player we have ever seen. But having to beat him in a best of 7 was a monumental task. SERRAL barely came out on top 4-3. Now here in the best of 3, it looks like Clem may have got the better of him. The Queen's trying to come north. They will deal with the Liberator, even rotating a weak Queen out of the Lib zone. I mean, who has the attention to do that in these situations? This little zone in the middle, just a nightmare for Zerg, man. I mean, this map is, I don't know why he left this in. I would veto this map immediately as a Zerg, but I guess he felt Ultra Love and the like were a bit worse for him, and he does leave it in, and Clem ecstatic, as are the fans. Bringing it back after losing that first best of 7, And he's able to secure victory as the first champion of Maestros of the game. I've been commentating for 10 hours and 15 minutes. Clem has been playing for just as long, and he has worked hard to deserve this victory.